So much washing.
I know look forward to having to put the cover back on the bed.
Cover on bed.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like putting the cover on either. It's annoying.
It's very difficult.
It's pretty irritating. It's fucking bullshit. What's going on, everybody? Thanks, Heineck. Glad you enjoyed my vid. Lionheart, what's up? Versified, what's up? Oh, dude. Ooga booga. I don't know why, but oh, there we go. It's finally showing up. Oh no, wait, that's the live stream. Why the fuck isn't my video showing up in my thing? Like, it's not in the video feed. That's super weird. Let's see. Don't have too many comments yet. Hi, everyone. So it's been a while. Keep making those vegan and destroying Paul Saladino gains? Goddamn right. Since I've made a video like this, but I've been forced out of retirement because somebody's made a pretty big dum-dum, and the person who made the dum-dum this time is Paul Saladino. Now, he made a video on his Instagram where he mentioned me specifically, and he decided to talk about soy. So we're going to watch this video and, in typical fashion, rebut each of his claims point by point.
Paul, where is the research showing soy consumption has feminizing effects in men? Soy does not have any feminizing effects in men. If soy is feminizing, then show me the fucking evidence, Paul.
So I'm guessing the joke here is that because my voice goes higher pitched when I get frustrated, soy must have feminizing effects in men. Okay, Paul, well, standing next to you, I don't think I look too feminine. I'm taller than you, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm twice your size and at least twice as strong. Look at any of my lifts on Instagram. I dare you to even attempt any of these lifts. You'd kill yourself if you lifted the weights I lift. And I even have more goddamn body hair. So, who's the one? Yeah, like, Paul doesn't even show his training. I think he's embarrassed about how weak he is. Like, I've seen him do some, like, elevated heel bodyweight squats and shit, and maybe some push-ups, but you never see him, like, benching or anything.
Day 9 of asking vegan gains, where the fuck is the dual kick stream?
I was busy today, okay? I had to go out to Mississauga. I picked up a cardio machine, had to put it together. Then, right after I was done putting this together, Paul Saladino uploaded some stupid fucking video that I had to react to, so had to shoot and edit a video. It's all, I think I have a valid excuse today, okay? I was too busy. Eh. Thanks for the donation, though, asshole. Appreciate it. One who's really feminized.
There's research in rats comparing soybean extract, BPA, which is a xenoestrogen, 17-beta estradiol on the testicles, showing that soybean extract looks a lot like BPA and 17-beta estradiol in rats. That's not a good thing, and it decreases hormone levels.
Not sure if you're aware of this, Paul, but human beings are not rats. I know you might feel like a rat sometimes because you're really small, really weak, and you also really like to eat cheese. But people aren't rats. And you can't rely on rodent research if you want to know if soy has feminizing effects in men.
In human men, there's a study showing inverse association, meaning the more soy food intake there was, the lower the sperm concentration in the semen.
So this is a perfect example of Paul Saladino's cherry picking and misrepresenting research, and I'll explain what he did here. So here's the paper that Paul mentioned in his Instagram video, Soy Food and Isoflavone Intake in Relation to Semen Quality Parameters Among Men from an Infertility Clinic. So a few things to point out here. This paper is looking at sperm quality or semen quality. It is not looking at feminizing effects of soy. So this really has nothing to do with whether or not soy feminizes men. This paper is looking at whether or not it affects semen quality. Secondly, this is a cross-sectional study, so it doesn't have the scientific weight to draw causal inferences, which is important to recognize. And most importantly, Paul completely cherry-picked and misrepresented the paper. What Paul did here was he only read a small section of the abstract where it did mention that, yes, there was an inverse association between soy food intake and sperm concentration. Keyword there, being sperm concentration. Notice how they didn't mention sperm count, and that's because in this paper, soy food intake did not. I am not lying about being vegan, and I'm also not on steroids. I've been thinking of taking steroids, but I'm not on them. If I was on them, I'd just be open about it. The only thing I've taken is TB500, which is a healing peptide. It's banned by WADA, but so's marijuana. So it doesn't really mean anything, but yeah, it doesn't have like anabolic properties.
You're the reason I went vegan 8 years ago. You completely changed my life and I've been eating soy almost every day since. Got blood work done for the first time last month of high/normal testosterone at 24 years old, 795 nanograms/Dl.
Fucking based. Well, glad that I could convert you to the dark side. And, sick that you have normal testosterone, too. It is in the upper end of the range. Thanks for the donation, Gabriel. What's the difference between barbell shoulder press and behind the head shoulder press? Why one over the other? You can use more weight with just a normal barbell overhead press. So given that you can use more weight, probably better for hypertrophy and certainly better for strength. Behind the neck is going to work a bit more of the medial deltoid in all likelihood. It's also just a different movement. So it's good to have variation, and it's good to swap variations occasionally. So it just being different in and of itself is a good thing. You don't want to do the same variation indefinitely. You can get adaptive resistance, you can get repetitive stress injuries, shit like that. So the only other benefit to behind the neck is I do think it helps with shoulder mobility and might help improve shoulder stability a little bit, just because you're strong through a greater range of motion than with just a, barbell overhead press. Not affect sperm count. You can go down to the multivariate analyses. As was the case in the univariate analyses, there was no association between soy food or isoflavones and total sperm count, ejaculate volume.
Good evening, VG. I hope that you are doing great tonight. I love soy so much, especially edamame with salt. I eat it every day. High protein and high fiber. Smile also. Here's another metaphor arsenal.
Neither soy nor isoflavone intake affects male reproductive hormones, an expanded and updated meta-analysis of clinical studies. Okay, this is a new one, I believe, yeah. Okay, thanks, dude. I'll be sure to save that. Appreciate the donation, Ben. sperm motility, or morphology in the multivariate analyses. So the only thing that Soy did here was it... Yeah, Shades, it's so stupid. Like, the high-pitched voice thing... Yeah, like, Mike Tyson does not have a fucking low voice. Ronnie Coleman, one of the best bodybuilders of all time, really super high voice. Doesn't really mean anything. Reduced sperm concentration. It didn't actually affect sperm production. It also didn't affect sperm quality. So that's an important detail that Paul, for some reason, I'm sure it's not because he's biased and trying to mislead you, failed to mention this. So not only did Paul's paper fail to demonstrate that soy impacts male fertility in any meaningful way, they actually cited some research that suggests soy improves male fertility in the discussion section. In a study with a design similar to ours, Song and colleagues investigated the relationship between soy isoflavone intake and semen quality in a group of 48 men with abnormal semen parameters and 10 men with normal semen parameters. In contrast with our results, they found that isoflavone intake was positively related to sperm count and motility and inversely related to sperm damage. Yeah, dude, it is super, super dishonest of Paul to have referenced that paper because they literally cite an opposing paper that shows, okay, well, the exact opposite. Like it just shows the exact opposite finding. So, I don't know if there's any prospective cohorts on this topic. I'm not sure, or even randomized trials, but like I don't know. Like the fact that he even referenced a cross-sectional study, it's like, who fucking cares? Ugh. Yeah, man, watch the Turkey Tom video of honestly being super interested with your character. I can relate with the childhood bullying against my race, and I can't wait for the content in the future. Well, thanks, man. Glad you liked the Turkey Tom vid. Any update on the MMA training? I'm continuing it in a week, just healing from an injury. I'm going to be training at Whitaker's old head coach's gym. Might compete in amateur. My elbow is still fucked. It's gotten better, but snapping punches still isn't really safe for me to do. And also just elbow extension. So if I have to resist against an opponent, it's still kind of weak and not great and hurts a lot. But it's gotten better. I can't really give a timeline until like when my elbow is going to be good enough to train. It's just taking a really fucking long time to heal. So here's the paper. Higher mean levels of genistein and datazine were observed in fertile control men compared to infertile men. So they found that the most fertile men had higher concentration of soy isoflavones. Interestingly, the levels of datazine and gynestein were higher in men with good sperm DNA integrity. So basically, again, men who had good sperm DNA integrity had higher soy isoflavone concentrations. Regression analysis showed significant correlation between dietary intake of genistein. It's a weird word. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. And semen parameters, including sperm count and motility. So again, these soy isoflavones were correlated with higher sperm count and better sperm motility. And this was a paper that was referenced in the study that Paul Saladino, showed in his Instagram video. So why didn't Paul mention this in his Instagram video? I wonder if it's because he's dishonest, he wants to mislead you, and he's rather rat-like in a few more ways than we realized. I think it... Let me see if Paul,
My name is...
Because he didn't upload this on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Yes. He's back, VG is back, and Paul is the first victim. Carnists and red pill poppers look out. Great comeback fight VG. What was that cardio machine you posted on your Insta today?
It's a Bowflex Max Trainer M3. I don't think they make them anymore, at least not in the US. I've seen a few of them at like Canadian Tire and shit. I picked it up used. I only paid $450 for it. New in store, these are I think $1,300, so I got a pretty good deal, and it's a nice machine. If you're looking for an elliptical machine that doesn't take up much space, this is an extremely good choice. They're pretty reliable as well. You may need to do some maintenance occasionally, but it's really not a big deal. But it's a really nice, smooth machine. So if you're looking for an elliptical or a stair climber, it's kind of like a mix of both. This is a good choice. And thanks for the donation, Prismo. Appreciate it. Yeah, Paul didn't even post that video on like his YouTube shorts or anything. I think that's kind of funny. He might have been like trying to avoid a response from me or something. I also find ironic and pretty hypocritical is that a lot of the foods that Paul Saladino recommends men eat negatively impact male fertility, particularly high-fat dairy. High-fat dairy negatively affects sperm morphology and sperm motility, yet Paul is totally comfortable with recommending these foods on his social media.
I love butter, cheese, and milk. Raw dairy is amazing for you. These are all the different types of raw dairy that I eat.
So Paul, I might be a soy boy, but it looks like you're a dairy fairy. And given the fact that I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, and I have a heck of a lot more chest hair, I guess that makes you more of a bitch.
There was a study done comparing soy protein to whey protein, looking at hormonal responses to...
Yeah, I don't understand why he wouldn't have posted this to his YouTube shorts. He posted this to Twitter, Instagram, but why not YouTube? I think he's like afraid of me reacting to him or something.
To lifting weights in men. After 14 days of supplementation with soy protein, there was a blunting of serum testosterone relative to whey protein.
So once again, Paul cherry-picked research, misrepresented the findings, and is a clown. So here's the paper that Paul referenced in his Instagram video. The effects of soy and whey protein supplementation on acute hormonal responses to resistance exercise in men. So yes, the paper did find that there was a difference in testosterone. Our main finding demonstrates that 14 days of supplementation with protein does appear to partially blunt serum testosterone. Now, what Paul does...
React to this.
Let me see, Dodo.
Alex Jones was right. Changed my mind. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to... but was he right about Sandy Hook?
Not completely.
The scariest thing happening in the country that people aren't talking about as much as you think they should be talking about now.
Culturally, overall, I think there's just a lot of rot in almost every major...
What does he mean by Alex Jones wasn't completely wrong? Like, he was wrong about everything.
your institution, not just within government and elected officials, but you think about the academia, you think about entertainment, business now even. There's a rot within our culture that has got to be reversed in my view.
Can you talk again specifically like where that is rather than in a sort of an umbrella way? Like where?
Well, as an example, we look at what's happened on so many college campuses recently after the events in Israel, of literally hundreds and thousands of students supporting terrorists. The beheading of
He's right about that, actually.
women and children, babies, in active support of that. Active support of, every time we hear from the river to the sea, that has a meaning, and it means extermination.
Why is this guy's beard so glittery? I just noticed that.
Of Israel. And to see, young people on our campuses in wholehearted support of that is frightening to me.
What is about him that you
Yeah, he's actually not wrong about the fucking terrorism support on college campuses. But thanks for the nation, Dodo. Doesn't mention is this is likely due to the differing levels of cortisol between the two groups. So, in addition, whey influences the response of cortisol following an acute bout of resistance exercise by blunting its increase during recovery. So, cortisol affects your serum testosterone concentrations. Higher cortisol means lower testosterone. Lower cortisol means higher testosterone. Chances are the reason the study had this finding was because the whey group, for whatever reason, had lower cortisol levels. And Paul, of course, did not... Yeah, so this had nothing to do with a estrogen-like effect in men. In all likelihood, it was just due to the lower cortisol in the whey group, and who the fuck knows why they had lower cortisol levels, but it was a small study. I think it was only 10. Yeah, there was only 10 people, so this could have just been easily some random fucking fluke. Not mention that there was no significant differences between groups in estradiol concentrations or estrogen. So again, this whole theory that soy is feminizing turns you into a girl, this paper does not provide evidence to that hypothesis. He's also cherry picking. You can find other papers that use different protein sources, so soy and whey protein, and analyzes their effects on serum hormone concentrations, and they find no difference between the soy and whey protein groups. This investigation shows that 12-week supplementation with soy protein does not decrease serum testosterone or inhibit lean body mass changes in subjects engaged in resistance exercise program. You can also find large meta-analyses analyzing whether or not soy or isoflavone intake affects testosterone in men. And of course, unsurprisingly, again, according to this meta-analysis, soy does not feminize men. It does not lower testosterone. So once again, Paul is just cherry picking.
So I think that there is a pretty significant amount of evidence that soy is feminizing for men and males across multiple species.
No, Paul, there is no good evidence that soy has feminizing effects in men. But at least if you're evidence for it, I am seeing a correlation between meat eating and a lack of intelligence. By the way, I am happy to debate you on any topic related to veganism, nutrition, balls in your court, buddy. So I don't know why you'd be afraid of debating a soy boy. Maybe you're too much of a dairy fairy, but I'd be down to have a debate. So I'm on Instagram. I messaged you. If you're up for it, let's fucking go. Haven't heard a peep from Paul yet. And I did this. I made the response pretty fucking soon after he initially published that video on Instagram. Let me see.
How dare you?
6 hours ago.
Spec King of which just look at what this moron said in the commenty post below his latset commenty post.
Let me take a look. You want to know what's funny? What's been going on in Palestine? People getting canceled for showing solidarity to Palestine. Isn't that a form of cancel culture? You know, the very thing that right-wingers claim to be opposed to? Ugh, buddy. When you literally fucking openly support terrorism and you get canceled for that, I don't know if I'd call that cancel culture. Right-wing hypocrisy never ceases to. They are big supporters of cancel culture, especially if it's against people they don't like. So he's right that right-wingers do support cancel culture, but I mean, you're talking about supporting a terrorist organization that are jihadists that tortured babies to death. Like, I don't know. If something is worthy of being canceled, I don't know what is. Fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Yeah, still haven't heard a single peep from Paul. Probably never will, either, because he is a cowardly, lying jackass. I don't know why that's still not showing up for me. That's super fucking weird. Hi, everyone. Well, I think I made a good video anyway. Let's see. Waiting for James Wade to get here. I don't know where he is. You have to believe this if you're vegan. Vosh talks about predation abolition.
Human beings deserve a life free from the constant threat and fear of predation. Doesn't matter which species the predator belongs to, predation abolition is the inevitable conclusion of total liberation. Bioconservatives, that's a funny term, are seething at this, love it. Point is to modify ecology and not needing predation between sentient beings in the first place. And no, nobody is saying this will be easier, can be accomplished tomorrow. This person sure did make quite a tweet thread. My God. They're right, by the way. They're right and you're all wrong. For all animals, if you're a vegan and you think that it's immoral to kill animals for your personal consumption, why should any other species be allowed that?
Yep.
Or to put it another way, you know, how many carnivores are there in the world in total right now? And how many herbivores are eaten or predated upon, you know, every single year? I bet you if you could Thanos snap away all carnivores, somehow balance the ecology of the world so that we're talking sort of in a vacuum and not, you know, not talking about the pragmatics of this. I'm pretty sure that in a year you would save more, you know, herbivore lives than you could ever bring about carnivorous. See, people are talking about practical considerations, but we're not talking about practical considerations. We're talking ethically whether or not it's correct for us to allow billions and billions of animals to die every single year. Most animal species are parasites. That's insane, lol. We're talking about the abstract ability to affect these changes in the long run, not about whether or not it could be literally done right now.
Sexless Virgin donated to Tellers. Should I follow this advice to get laid? Let me take a look.
Here are weird ways to tell a woman may have a promiscuous past. First sign, if she isn't ticklish. Girls who aren't ticklish might not be because they're actually used to being handled by men. They're also overall...
What? The feeling of being tickled is a reflex. It's not something that you can there's no exposure therapy to reduce being ticklish.
Insensitive to male touch and usually lack body spatial awareness with strangers. Number 2, if she was enlisted in the military with a male dominant job, especially if she was in the Marines. This is also true for civilian police officers. Number 3, if she's been single.
I really don't know about that one. Yeah, like, what does it matter if it's a male dominant job? In any fucking job, you're going to have many men that you're working with. Like, unless it's something like, unless you're working at a daycare, but there's always going to be tons of men that you're working with. Like, an average workplace is going to be like 50-50 probably, male, female. So I don't know about that one.
For over 3 years. Good feminine women are rarely single for more than a year. If she's been single for 3+ years, it's clear that she's the problem. And in those 3 years, she's definitely
Or she's just not seriously dating or something.
gained a little bit more experience.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Stop walking like a dork. This is how you walk like an attractive man. The first thing you need to do is get off your phone. Never walk with your head down looking at your phone. That shows no confidence at all. What you want to do is keep your chin up, keep your eyes parallel, and even make eye contact with people as they walk through. This is going to show how confident you are, which will make you more attractive. Next up is the shoulders. Never hunch with the shoulders forward, shoulders down, back, chest out. This is called open body language alongside with the chin. It's going to make you appear more confident and more attractive, especially when you walk in the room. Next thing is to don't be so stiff. Kind of walk with a little bit of swag in the shoulders, a little bit of sway, because men are more attractive whenever they sway their shoulders and women are more attractive whenever they sway their hips. Now put this all together and you will immediately appear 10 times more attractive whenever you're walking at venues or just walking in general. Stop.
Think if you need help walking, there's no help for you.
Most women don't like most men. The first reason is due to inflation of options, right? The grass is always greener due to social media, dating apps, which have really boosted women's egos. Also, not to mention the 90-10 rule due to those options.
That is fucking bizarre. Like, I don't know how he figures this, because you don't know how, like, some of these websites like Tinder are dealing with data collection. You're not getting any kind of actual data on how women actually date on these dating apps and whether it's different from other, you know, other ways of finding a date, like in person. Like, also, the majority of users are male. Only a small percentage of men on these sites are even successful when it comes to getting matches. So, like, what are fucking women, like, really getting out of these dating apps? They don't have many actual viable options when they use the fucking dating apps, and they tend, it seems, to be more picky when it comes to dating anyway. So, I don't know how you can figure women's egos are inflated because of a fucking dating app.
Meaning that 90% of the women are usually going after the top 10% of men and what they find the most attractive in the realms of looks, money, and status. And then average woman versus the average man. We have seen it time and time again. The average woman has access to higher status, more attractive men, versus the average guy really doesn't have the same access that even an average woman would have nowadays. And because of that, it's kind of skewed up the dating dynamics, which overall has made it harder for men just to land a single date.
It is not hard to land a single date. If you can't get a date with a girl, and you're really struggling, like, there's something wrong with you, okay? There's some sort of something, there's some sort of problem. It's not hard to get a fucking date.
Now, just about whether it's a moral good that would eventually be the case if it could be done.
Oh, shit.
Bintonk, again, we are not talking about the balance of nature. The idea is that you could orchestrate some sort of environment. You know, you could appropriately modify genes or whatever so that you could have a perfectly stable ecology without the need for any predation. Vosh, dude, until we create immortality, there will still be animals dying anyways. Is that an excuse for killing humans? We're going to die eventually. No, if you're a vegan and you believe it's wrong for animals to die, then you must necessarily believe that the prevention of their deaths is also a good thing.
It's shocking that Vosh would actually understand the argument. Actually shocking, and it sounds like he kind of supports the idea too.
Or maybe put it another way. If we...
My Saladino vid is gone. It's not showing up. And I don't know why. Like, it is public, monetization's on. I don't know why the fuck it's... Hi everyone. I don't know what's going on with it. Hey Jasmine, can you go to my channel and see if you can go to my Paul Saladino video? Just see if it's there. And I didn't get any notification from YouTube saying it was taken down or anything. Yeah, what the fuck? It's not showing up for me either. I have to go into my YouTube studio. Well, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck... I do not know... what the hell is going on. It's really weird. I'll wait like an hour, see what happens, but I've never had that happen before where it like just flat out does not show up. Genetic Beast donated $2. Thoughts on the Handsome Press? Alpha Destiny loves this. Alpha Destiny? I've never seen him do it. Like... I wouldn't bother doing this. Like, sure, it can help with, like, mobility, external, internal rotation, but... I would just do a different exercise. Like, how much weight do you end up using with this? I'd be a little worried about snapping my shit up, honestly. I've literally never seen Alpha Destiny do that.
You know, it's nice to know some of these SJWs who support Hamas are getting a taste of their own midacne by getting cancelled.
Yes. I hope that keeps happening. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
We were, if we were spacefaring and had a tremendous amount of control over the environments that we terraformed on other planets, and we could create sort of an ecodome with a new environment, we would be putting everything together from scratch, the plants, the animals. Would it be more moral to construct an environment with no predation whatsoever, that would just have plants and herbivores, than it would be to have an environment where there are also carnivores feasting upon the herbivores and such? And my answer to that would be yes. I think that if you had to choose between those two, if you had the ability to choose, yeah, one in which there are only herbivores and plants would be...
A lot of scum in here tonight, Fiji.
There's always scum, Oinker, but thanks for the donation, dude.
React?
Let me take a look. Bodybuilder murdered his ex-wife on Instagram Live. Is this just a true crime video?
Reality of an rage that you've never, according to.
Yeah, I'm not going to react to that. It's boring, stupid, true crime, spooky video. Not really worth reacting to. I am so fucking tired, dude. Holy shit. Thanks for the donation, though, Simon.
Significantly more peaceful and better, I think. So if you can accept that, then you can talk about, adjacent issues. Can plants suffer? I don't think plants can suffer. No. Overpopulation killing all plant life? Like I said, it would be a stable environment. We're just talking about the idea that you could somehow construct the things in order for it to be a sustainable environment. No, it would never be stable. Okay, you guys are really, really failing to understand the scope of the question here. If we're talking about creating a new environment from the beginning, you could gene edit these herbivores to not overpopulate their environment. You could literally have them emit pheromones to not continue to produce children if there are already enough of them within a given area. We're not talking about, we're talking about totally abstract. What's the point if this is so far from reality? Because it applies to other meaningful questions. Because there are applications of this question that work in the real world. First of all, ethical questions are worth consideration, whether or not they're, immediately applicable. And second of all, we're talking about stuff that relates to discourse in the real world today, right now, presently, currently. Okay, like first of all, factory farming, or let's just say grass-to-table farming, cows living off in nice big pastures before they're killed, okay? Eventually, cows would be killed out in the wild anyway, wouldn't they? But people still think that that kind of farming is unethical. So clearly a system by which animals that live in more or less natural conditions are killed for the sustainability of others when they don't have to be. Can we not separate them and feed the predators lab-grown meat? Sure, that would be good too. Yeah, if you could, maybe you could have...
Genetic Beast, Don't Tellers, Master T, aka Gordon Ramsay, shares his thoughts on the guy you don't like. Please react, don't skip. Let me see.
Look at this goof, man. Watch this. This guy Prophet Fear. What the fuck is this? Who the fuck would subscribe to this idiot? Watch this, man. What the fuck is he fucking doing, this fucking moron? This is the epitome of a gym idiot. What the fuck is he doing with those weights?
I'm assuming he's trying to do lengthened partials or something. And yeah, one of the functions of the bicep is shoulder reduction, so... But I don't know, that does seem stupid to be fair.
You can't fucking curl the weight 55 pounds. Why the fuck are you using that? What the fuck is he doing? Is this fucking autistic training or what the fuck, bro? Give me a fucking break. This is fucking dumb. Fucking shit, man. Don't ever follow this guy. Unsubscribe if you have to. This is torture.
Yeah, he really doesn't like Prophet Fear. I don't like him either. I think he's an asshole, but... Thanks for the donation, Genetic Beast. Richard, Somali, cousin, donated $2. Check Turkey Tom, second channel nigga. Oh, sick. I think he might have uploaded more of the stuff. The Vegan Gains interview.
So some of you already know, I just released a video on my main channel about Vegan Gains where I explored his past, his history, and a big part of that video was me getting to talk to him in person. I actually met up with him, we went to the gym, we went to dinner a few times, and it was a lot of fun. And within that video is also a very long interview we did. But in the main channel video, I only included small snippets of that interview. This is that full interview for whoever wants to watch the entire thing. It's about an hour long. It's a really interesting talk. I think you guys will enjoy our chemistry a little bit. And I think that you'll probably learn a lot about vegan gains that you didn't know before. And overall, it's just a really interesting talk. So yeah, check it out. All right. I guess we're here for I don't really know which podcast this is, but this is the first official episode. And I'm here with a very special guest. Why don't you state your name, your YouTube name, and then what you do?
Yeah, my name is Richard, last name Burgess. That's already been leaked online, so whatever. My YouTube channel is Vegan Gains. I'm a vegan animal rights activist, and that's what most of my content centers around, but I also do health and fitness. Don't think I'll react to this because it's just an interview. Didn't speak English, probably from like India or Pakistan or somewhere. Thought that I was promoting animal abuse. Could really platform him unless and I've just started to get an itch for making more videos.
Gosh.
Loved your interview from Turkey Tom, by the way. Keep doing what you do.
Well, thank you, Poop Poop. Glad you enjoyed it. That's sick that he uploaded it. I don't know if he's gonna upload like the full workout or something. That'd be kind of funny. But thanks for the donation, Poop. Appreciate it. Fuck.
Maybe you could have an environment where, you've got herbivores that are inedible to carnivores, maybe some sort of toxin, and there's like lab-grown meat. But then it wouldn't be fully sustainable, because if you're lab-growing meat to throw in there, then they're pets and you're feeding them, So, at that point, it's a little bit different, I think. Vosh, plants do suffer. Simply look at grass. That smell of cut grass. This is how they express pain. Do some ducking research.
Stop debating useless punks on YouTube and debate a real meat eater, but we both know he'd obliterate you on a debate. Is that a person's name, a real meat eater? The fuck are you talking about? If anybody wants to debate me, they can just hop in my live stream and just ask, and I'll open the Discord, or they can just email me or message me on Instagram. And then we could set something up.
On this before you open your mouth. There were like 20 typos in this sentence, so I'm going to assume that it's a joke, and I'm not gonna respond. Vosh, what makes murder objectively immoral, especially with human overpopulation? This is what I get for talking about ethics for more than 20 minutes.
Oh, debate Paul Saladino? Well, I'm trying to. I tried messaging him. I think my message to him got blocked. I've commented on several of his videos, and I can say with a very high degree of certainty, I think he actually saw those comments. I've commented on his Instagram post, and I haven't heard a peep from him. I made a video calling him out and challenging him, but I still haven't heard a peep.
Minutes in a row. Vosh, but if we're creating our own planet, what would be the utility in creating the herbivores? Why not just create the plants? That would reduce suffering further, since painful deaths won't be a thing. Well, by that, I think, to me, at least, is a, what would you call it? That's an anti-natalist take. If you think that it's morally wrong to create and introduce animal life to the world because, life entails suffering, then that's an argument against our existence as well. Herbivores are really efficient pollinators for plants. Well, herbivores are the ones that do the real work. I mean, plants and their business, fungi and what have you, they're the most efficient conduits for using energy and resources and turning it into biological material. And then herbivores are a tenth as efficient or something, They'll eat the biological material, the mushrooms, the grass, the flowers, and they'll be a little rabbit or whatever, But carnivores are a scale less efficient than that, because they only eat, the herbivores. Now, eating the plants, I don't think that causes any suffering, but well. Look, nothing. Never mind. Listen, if you if you think about stuff like this for too long, I feel like you just sit in place and you concentrate, and you can like hear in your mind the screams of the thousands of animals that die every single second, or all the cute bunny rabbits in forests and, you know, meadows that get like gored by an eagle and then just lay there like dying, you know? And that
I wonder if Vosh still has that retarded take that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, therefore it's okay to eat meat.
like they got to live for 6 months, then they're dead, you know? If you think about this for too long, too in tune to the suffering of the world, obviously, you know, the ideal would be a whole universe in which the only life is immortal bunny rabbits that eat unfeeling grass. That would be, I mean, obviously that would be the optimal configuration for any kind of, you know, galactic yeah, that would be utopia. Yeah, of course they'd be immortal, they'd be very happy. Maybe you could have.
Is that a cat? Oh my god, it's a cat.
Maybe you could have cats as well. Just little immortal cats are predators, I guess. Maybe there would just be kibble everywhere that they would eat. No, that wouldn't work. Cats kill for fun. Kibble is bad for cats. Give them meat. We do give them meat, but we also give them kibble.
Donate $2. Good to see you make new video. Now is a good time for you to make videos because of the Turkey Tom video. If you make new content, it will become recommended to many people, so you should make more. Also, now that will you game since Alan Wake 2 is over. I can't believe it. Probably play through RoboCop. That we still haven't finished that. I don't know what else, man. We have to wait for some games. Tekken 8's coming out. Last of Us Part 2 remake's coming out soon. Still waiting for Space Marine 2 to be released. I don't know when that's going to come out exactly. But yeah, those are some of the games I'm waiting for anyway. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. I guess I haven't really played much WRC on stream, so we'll probably play that in the meantime. Shinigami donated $2. I know you're tired, but you're willing to twerk for $50. Yeah. I actually have to do a long twerk. As per James Wade's request. I'm waiting for him to pop in. I don't know where he is. But thanks for the donation, Shinigami. Oh yeah, I didn't finish Spider-Man 2. I forgot about that. Yeah, we're gonna finish Spider-Man 2 as well. My elbow is super fucking swollen right now. I don't know why. It hurts. I can also feel the piece of bone that broke off. Joey Carbstrong. Grumpy meat eater tells vegan activist to fuck off.
Bother me. Yeah. Do you not think that this is being pushed by the elite?
No.
It's being pushed.
By activists.
If push comes to shove, you're hungry, you'll eat what's available. What's the difference between mercy killing and killing for mistake?
I like the way this guy talks. He talks really weird.
What's that got to do with stabbing animals in the throat for a sandwich?
You're getting emotional. If you're going to keep interrupting, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about, isn't it? Alright, so we're out here in Hackney, London for the Gen V billboard campaign. The sign says every 30 minutes we take...
Any ideas for games you wish existed? I really wish they had made a open world Matrix game. There we go, finally. Dodo donated $2. Did you understand the ending in Alan Wake 2? Also, the story was so good, so all the other games you're going to play anytime soon will look so boring compared to that. Yeah, I understood the story. Yeah, basically...
A lot of scum in the chat TN. I'd spit on everyone's grandmas, especially yours, Fiji. Eat spit, Grandma Richie.
Okay, well that's good to know, Private Observer. Appreciate the donation, dude. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like basically he was thinking there was like some sort of time loop that he had to break, but apparently it's a spiral. And they're not so sure exactly what that means. It also seems that Scratch is still loose. So, and it also seems that Alan is still stuck in the dark place. Possibly. Or a version of him, I should say.
Next to a mysterious individual, Saga obtains the clicker and bullet of light. Wake uses it to push Scratch out of Casey's body, and when he possesses Alan again, Saga shoots him with the bullet of light. Return is...
Twerk it. The video you played made me decide on it, haha.
Okay, what do you want me to twerk to, exactly? Do you have a preference of song, or can I choose whatever song?
This more recent Vosh discussion on meat consumption came into my recommended. This might interest you.
8 days ago, okay. We'll react to that in a bit. Thanks for the donation, Darth Putin. Yeah, Shinigami, just tell me if you want me to twerk to any particular song, or if it's just my choice. Have you played F1 yet? It's fun. Nah, I didn't want to get F1. I've heard some bad things about the physics and shit, and I already have, like, Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, and Project Cars, which have F1 in them anyway, so I figured, meh.
Are there any health benefits that are unique to high-intensity cardio? Is the new elliptical any good? What would be your dream VR game? Which VR headset are you planning on buying? Have you ever gotten your pulse up from a VR game?
There do appear to be unique benefits to vigorous exercise, but it doesn't need to be high intensity. So I don't think there's any unique benefits to doing high intensity interval training. But yes, as far as high intensity cardio, there do seem to be unique health benefits. Is the new elliptical any good? Yes, it is very good. I'm very pleased with it. It is challenging. It's similar to a Stairmaster, but not quite. It's like in between a Stairmaster and a elliptical. It's really nice. What would be your dream VR game? Well, I really like VR racing games. It's not so much like a VR game. It's just a VR headset that I really want. That, like, I just want a VR headset that's very small, but has a very wide field of view and no screen doors, so just really good resolution. And ideally micro OLED, so there's perfect blacks. So far, there isn't a headset that checks all those boxes. I'm just waiting for a new, like, good VR headset to come out, so... I do want, like, Half-Life 3 to come out in VR, which they're probably going to do. That would probably be, like, my dream VR game, but I also really like VR racing. I'm waiting for the next Steam VR headset to come out. I think they're going to announce it soon, like probably spring at the latest. And yeah, I've gotten my pulse up from playing a VR game. Like, you move around so much. I think the most physical VR game I've played is Crisis V-Brigade. That game can get pretty intense. Thanks for the donation though, lol.
My bad. Extra money for you, man. Here you go.
All right, let me take a look. Might not be able to play this for too long because of copyright, but I'll try. Thanks for the donation, Shinigami.
After I spit on your grandma, I will elbow her in the ribs, then take her kitchen table chair and smash it over her head. Her face will smash on the floor and I'll say, "Eat hardwood, Grandma Richie." Then I'd start peeing on her face and keeping her down. W my foot.
That's good to hear. Appreciate the donation, Dodo. Okay. Let's get some twerking done.
Hi Vegan Gains, what split would you recommend for pure hypertrophy and how many days a week would be best for recovery?
Personally, I would prefer an upper-lower, but there's not necessarily any ideal split for hypertrophy. Things are going to come down to individual needs, individual preferences, required volumes, required frequencies, and to some extent, like your exercise selection. But for me personally, I'd probably prefer an upper-lower. Probably. Yeah, but... Oh yeah, and how many days per week would be best for recovery? Like, again, that's going to come down to the individual. One person may need more days to recover than another. That's going to depend on absolute loads being lifted, how well you recover, how hard your training is, your training age, things like that. You need at least 1 day out of the week for full systemic recovery where you don't train at all. I think most people need at least 2 days, but 2 to 3 days out of the week is probably ideal for most people. Thanks for the donation, though, Slava. Hope that answers your question. Dodo donated $2. If North Korea or China decide to destroy all the undersea fiber optic cables responsible for the internet, you realize you would be forced to buy Starlink so you can stay connected. I wouldn't buy Starlink. I'd buy a service that's better and cheaper, because there's other internet service providers. Dodo donated $2. Are octopus tentacles independently sentient like Mark Rober suggests?
As a cat. But unlike all the animals over here where all the neurons are focused in the brain, in octopi only 1/3 of their neurons are in the brain, and the rest are in their arms, which means they not only smell and taste, but they can even think and act independently with their arms. That means that even if their arm is cut off, the arm can still camouflage itself to the surroundings by sensing light. It would be like closing your eyes, walking.
I don't know if that's true. So just because they have a large concentration of neurons in their arms, that doesn't necessarily mean their arms are independently conscious. Because consciousness is a different thing than intelligence, so I don't know.
Do this one instead. No copyright.
Alright, Shinigami, thanks again for the donation. I shall twerk to this. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not an expert on this sort of thing, but just because they have a large concentration of neurons in a particular area doesn't mean they have independently conscious limbs. So I would just disagree with the premise that because they have a large cluster of neurons, that means their limbs are independently sentient. I'd need to see other evidence besides that. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Prim prim. Hello. What's going on here, Prim Prim? You want to say hi? Primmy. Oh. Well, this dog wants to say hi. Hello. Ah. Home lamb. What's going on here? There's multiple dogs. Okay. You're nice. You're nice. Ah, stop mlemming me. No more mlem. Okay? I love you, but no more mlem. No more mlem. Mlem, mlem, mlem. Okay, scoot. Can you scoot? Thank you. All right, let's do this twerking. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Stop licking me. Why do you do that so much? Hmm? Why did you do that so much? What are you doing? Okay, can you scooch? Ah, scooch. 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 Thank you. Ugh. All right. And we're back. Hope you enjoyed that highly erotic twerking. Let's see the comments. Hi, everyone. Yeah. The fuck?
Yeah, the crazy thing is that at least domestically, we could fix so many ecological issues just by scaling back meat farming. How much water goes to cattle? Cow drinking water is like 2% of our total water. But the real water use when it comes to meat farming is the water we use to raise the crops we feed the cows. Agriculture accounts for 92% of humanity's freshwater footprint across the planet. Almost 75% of the decline in water levels can be attributed to cattle feed irrigation. It takes a lot of water.
Jesus, that's crazy.
What do you call 5 cents dipped in tar? Correct answer, vegan gains, aka a black nickel.
Yeah, that's a good racist joke. Thanks for the donation, Ridley.
Water to make a double cheeseburger. One calculation puts it at 450 gallons per quarter pounder. There it is. Across the U.S., cattle feed crops, which end up as beef and dairy products, account for 23% of all water consumption, according to the report. And it's so we can raise a bunch of, like, wheat or fucking whatever we feed them, grain, to feed the cows. And then we eat the cows, because that's very, like, energy inefficient. Bruh, cattle can be raised on marginal land that can't be farmed, and regenerative agriculture can restore decertified land to being suitable for growing on. It's the feedlots that suck. No, because even if the cattle are being raised on that land, the crops to feed them are being raised on agriculturally viable land, and we use a fuck ton of water on that. We got to do it again. We're going to show the graph again. Guys, we all know what graph I'm about to show, right? Which map? We all know what I'm looking for. Yep, my favorite map in the world. Cow pasture and range, sheep, goats, other horses. Right here. Big old square in the middle. Livestock feed right over here. Now, everything that we use for livestock feed could be feeding humans. Now, you might notice the livestock feed section is larger than our feed exports down here. So, the livestock feed, I mean, you got ethanol. Oh, there's the golf chunk that I'm blocking. See the golf chunk? The red in the top right is the human land where we live. Urban housing, urban commercial, rural housing. idle, fallow, food we eat. Food we eat right here, yeah. So the livestock feed is like twice the section of the food we eat. So that's cool. And also, I do not believe that all of this cow pasture range land is useless were it not for the pasture/range. Like, I know that a lot of this land is not exactly prime agricultural territory or whatever, but I'm pretty sure better use could be made of this land if we were to scale back the extent of our meat farming. Ban golf and lawns, that would be enough. That would be nice.
How does he still, like, try to argue veganism isn't a moral obligation, even though he recognizes all this shit? Like, has he changed his opinion recently?
Yes, this is just a map showing what land is used for in America. What's the significance of the 100 largest landowning families being separate from everyone else there? Oh, just to help you hate the rich a little bit. Why not? What's the solution to all this? Do we simply roll over and die? I mean, we could do that. We could consume less meat. I think veganism and vegetarianism would catch on faster if their food wasn't advertised to replace meats. I agree completely. Vegan food should stop trying to be like, hey...
Do you have many friends or socialize much IRL? Do you have advice for activities/ways to meet people and make friends in person?
Well, I do not have many IRL friends, and I do not meet up with friends all that frequently. If you want to make some IRL friends and you don't know how, what you want to do is you get a gun and you find somebody who looks like a good friend.
Is 2 grams protein per kilogram of body weight enough for older people that weight train and exercise and all from plants only?
Yeah, it should be enough. When you get older, you do need to consume more protein to maintain or gain muscle mass because your body becomes more anabolically resistant. So 1 gram per kilogram should be enough. Or sorry, 2 grams per kilogram should be enough. That's pretty high. That's about 1 gram per pound. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if you really needed more than that or would benefit from more than that. Thanks for the donation, though, Sean. So you get a gun, you go up to somebody who you think might be a good friend, and you say, "Hey, jackass, let's go play a game." And then you have a new friend. Other ways of getting a new friend is you can join Facebook groups and join like hobby Facebook groups. So like people who are into RC cars, people who are into D&D, stuff like that. A lot of them have IRL meetups, so that's one way. You can also meet like vegan activists and shit who also do IRL events and then just meet friends that way. A lot of the time when you do activist events too, people go out to eat and then you chill for a while. So there's many different ways of making friends. Hope that helps. Thanks for the donation, Kit Lawless. Zoe donated $2. TikTokers are now going around harassing random American Jews in the street. Yeah, of course they are. Okay. Also thoughts on this vegan haul.
Hey, what is up, Flavor family? It is Bobby and Art back at the grocery store, Whole Foods to be exact, to do a vegan best in class. You guys.
This guy is a fucking clown. Sure. Earth Balance Butter and Miyoko's Creamery taste good. Margarines are better for you. They're gonna have less saturated fat, but yeah, that's fine. Drop. Oh, is this just a sponsor? I'm surprised he's allowed to film in these places. Like, usually you'd get kicked out if you do this for this long. Oh my god, why isn't this fucking loading?
We can't leave this aisle without doing vegan mac and cheese. I just saw a...
He chooses, like, all the worst products. It's kind of funny. I don't think this is particularly good mac and cheese. Yeah, here we go. More... Cheetos suck as it is. I've never had these, but, like, really? You expect something called Paleo Puffs to be any good? And Cheetos already suck. Non-dairy creamers, whatever. Vegan probiotic drinks. They suck. They're just not good. Vegan mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is terrible. Beyond Burger, yeah, it's a win. Chocolate chip cookie dough, sure, why not? Kato ice cream. I've never had Kato ice cream. The best ice cream I've had so far is Honey's. Honey's vegan ice cream, if you can find it, is great. The Amy's vegan pizza is really good.
There is one thing I want to point out here. Both
haven't had that though. So, some okay options. Thanks for the donation, Zoe.
Not sure why that one question was asked. Who the fuck wants to be friend with anyone in this generation? They are all rat-faced, two-faced, disgusting, revolting, disingenuous, retarded, awful, self-serving, plotting, scheming and draining. I'd prefer to be alone a hole.
Being alone at home can be pretty fun. You can walk around naked, watch whatever porn you want without being judged. You can watch whatever the fuck you want on TV or whatever. You don't have to negotiate with anybody. So yeah, there are benefits to spending time alone. But you're not going to sniff anybody else's butt if you're alone, so that's the downside. Thanks for the donation, Professor. Every stupid video donated $2. Let me see. Why we should be eating more meat, not less. I'll react to that in a bit.
Look at this, Richard. Also, did you end up watching the 20 Days in Mariupol documentary? It's really good, I promise.
Haven't watched it yet, haven't had time, but I'm planning to. The scene at Hillcrest High School in Queens as a Jewish teacher hid in her locked office for hours while students demanded she be fired for attending a pro-Israel rally. Fuck these people.
Yeah, and if my sister's fading a bitch, I'ma line it up with whoever came with the bitch. Line it up, line it up.
Dude. These pro-Palestine fucking cucks are just savages. They're pieces of shit. I fucking hate the pro-Palestine protesters. Like, they're just the most ignorant fucking morons on the planet. Thanks for the donation, Darth Putin.
Fact about protein: the effect on LBM was significant in subjects greater than or equal to 65 years old ingesting 1.2 to 1.59 grams of protein/kg/day, and for younger subjects
1.2 to 1.59. Okay, so you're saying it doesn't make that much of a difference. You didn't give me a link, but yeah, I would imagine more than 1 gram per pound, even for the elderly, wouldn't really make much of a difference. Thanks for the donation, though, Ben. Zoe donated $2. Have you seen the subreddit? The female dating strategy. I have not. I'm not going to bother reading this. They also have a pathetic podcast. This is just how to take advantage of dudes, right? For money. 50-50 is a scam. Why men should always pay more. Yeah. I'm not going to bother watching that. I've already got enough cancer to watch as it is. Those women are just going to be fucking alone for the rest of their lives, and no dudes are going to fuck with them. Thanks for the donation, though, Zoe.
My favorite part of the Turkey Tom documentary was when he asked what music you like and you gave 2 serious bands and then said poopy dupe, and he didn't know if you were serious. Laughed my ass off. Tom seems like a decent dude but needs to go vegan.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and he'd be a lot nicer if he went vegan. I think he just needs to stop being lazy. But thanks for the donation, Microwave Poop. I also enjoyed the documentary.
Vegan gains, why is Jasmine always laughing in the background? Is she talking to another guy?
She's talking to her friends on PSN. Thanks for the donation, Matt Dillahunty.
Thanks. I know the normal recommendation of protein is about 0.75 grams per pound of body weight, but heard about less bioavailability in plants of about 10% to 20%. I think so I try for 0.9 grams.
There's no need to consume any more plant protein. The bioavailability difference is closer to like 2 or 3%, and if you look at actual intervention studies, it doesn't seem to make a difference in terms of body composition changes. So just follow the 0.75 gram per pound body weight guideline. Thanks for the donation, though, Sean. Dodo Donate Tellers, did Paul Saladino respond to you yet or challenge you to debate? Also, do you have any debates or anything interesting coming up? As far as I know, he is not. Let me take a look at my Instagram, see if I have new messages. Because I messaged him. Nope. Haven't got a message back from Paul on Instagram. No new emails. And don't think he's commented yet. Yeah, haven't seen. So yeah, and I don't have any debates coming up. I think I am going to be on the next Kick or Keep, though. Let me check my messages. Yeah, I'm going to be on the next Kick or Keep. And that's going to be on Monday. So that is technically a debate, I guess. Thanks for the donation there, Dodo.
The effect on LBM was significant in subjects greater than or equal to 65 years old ingesting 1.2 to 1.59 grams of protein/kg/day, and for younger subjects.
Somebody already linked me that. Was that you just sending me that again? Yeah, Sean already sent me that, but... Or no. I swear I already heard that from somebody. Well, anyway, thanks for the donation, Ben.
Is this legit? Does this really improve performance?
Let me see, W.
Natural doping. Do it by practicing 5 breath holds. And the way to do it would be take a normal breath in and out through your nose and pinch your nose and hold. Start walking. Go into a fast walk, into a jog, into a fast jog. Keep relaxing into the body. Build up a moderate to strong air hunger, and when the air hunger gets pretty strong, let go. Breathe through your nose, but get your breathing under control. Breathe as normal for about a minute or so and repeat 5 times. What happens when you do a breath hold after the exhalation? You increase carbon dioxide in the blood, and you lower your blood oxygen saturation. Your spleen, which is your blood bank, and it contains 8% of your red blood cells, it contracts in response to the drop in blood oxygen. So you can naturally increase your oxygen carrying capacity, and splenic contraction happens pretty quickly. Even if you hold your breath for 30 seconds, it will cause the spleen to contract to release.
That is complete and total bullshit. People wouldn't be taking drugs like EPO, anabolic steroids, or doing things like high altitude training or those low atmosphere environments if you could increase red blood cell count dramatically by just holding your breath. So this guy's completely full of shit. Doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking heard in my life. Zoe Donate $2. Do you think this is a cop? Also, FD Signifier thinks you're a race trader, apparently. That is likely a cop. That guy looks way too clean to be a meth addict who's just smoking on the train. So... the person probably is a cop. I don't know why they're staging a crime.
Started, I want to let everyone know about this video sponsor, me, kinda, by way of my streaming service, Nebula.
Oh, I don't know if I'll fucking watch this fucking video. I don't know. I don't need to watch a fucking hour 17-minute video on why he thinks black interracial relationships are a problem. Thanks for the donation though, Zoe.
What the actual fuck? Here is the meta-analysis I've been trying to send to you with regards to protein. Sorry about that, lol.
Alright. I will read that later on my spare time. Thanks for the donation, Ben. Dodo Donate $2. You said Kick or Keep is on Monday. Do you mean tomorrow? Yes. Also, last time in Kick or Keep, they said in the beginning, if there's a specific topic you guys want to talk about, mention it now. So if you can you please aggressively challenge people on veganism and Palestine? Okay, sure. I'll do that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo Donate $2. Who are the other contenders on the upcoming Kick or Keep stream? I think Turkey Tom's going to be on. Want to see if they have any stupid things they said that you can challenge them on. Pretty sure Turkey Tom's going to be on. I don't know who else, though. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Jasmine is cackling back there like a rodent.
I didn't know rodents cackle, but thanks for the donation, Goe Bomb.
Not very popular after my presentation. Okay, we got it. I'm actually making a film about this. So my film's called Food Lies, and I think they're trying to pull up the...
Our scavenging ancestors would go in after a carnivore killed another animal and get the leftovers. We get the most nutrient-dense part of that animal.
She is taking the nutrients in the grass and the nutrients in the sunlight and turning them into vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K.
It takes 100 years for land that's plowed.
Your wife's talking to me. That's why everyone can hear her laughing in the background. Because she's speaking to a real man. A man that comforts her. That makes her feel special. That makes her laugh. Something a skinny twig named Vegan Stains can't do.
Well, that's good to hear. Thanks for the donation, Scott Mendelson.
One time for it to return to all the species that were there before the day it was.
And that we're headed in the wrong direction. I'm presenting on why we should be including more animal foods in our diet, not less.
They arrested Tommy Robinson for going to an anti-Semitism protest. They said they feel he could cause harm. Bullshit. Listen from 540. Do you think he should sue? Please. Also, what he said is facts.
Let me see.
Braidmen lost their job. They couldn't stop them marching on Armistice Day. They can't stop them calling for jihad. Hizbut Tahrir are prescribed in most nations. Yeah? Every Arab nation, they're a prescribed terrorist organisation. They're standing on the streets yesterday in this capital city calling for Muslim armies against Jews. Yeah? Yet they're going to arrest me. I'm just here to do a report, to do my job. That's it. How are you, darling? How are you? I'm good. How are you? You alright? I'm good. How are you? Yeah, well. Do you mind if I ask you a question? You can ask me a question. Have you got any alarm and distress in me being here? No. The police have said that my presence here is going to cause people alarm and distress. I've not found anyone yet. I've found no one. Here they come. We've got a problem, yeah? Absolute disgrace. Hey, tell me I'm a disgrace. Oh, there you go. I'm just here to say my job. Why don't you put them on the back? Why don't you...
What's going to happen?
So they actually arrested him? Yeah, dude, the freedom of speech laws in the UK are non-existent, so there's not really any legislation protecting him. It is, like, again, a lot of the stuff that he's been involved in is fucked up, and I think the police overstep their bounds, and in a lot of cases they don't. So I have mixed feelings about Tommy Robinson, but thanks for the donation, Bootycam. This is the maniac who went with Sneeko to Mecca. He threatens people who curse in front of the Quran, saying that he will punch them.
Can you prove the theory of evolution in a controlled environment?
Of course.
You cannot.
It's true.
Show me a study.
You don't need to.
Any biologist will tell you.
You believe in God. God do not exist.
That's not the problem. The problem is you don't even know that the theory of evolution cannot be
the truth, but it's not true.
Just read Quran, and then if you don't believe in it,
You don't need to test a theory necessarily. You just need adequate evidence for it.
don't believe in it. But don't be ignorant where you haven't even read a book and you're giving your opinion on it.
I read the Quran.
You've never read the Quran.
I read the Bible.
You're lying. You just lied on camera. You said you've never read the Quran, then you said you've read the Quran.
Friend.
But you just said you read the Quran.
Look, my friend, I don't need to read books.
But that's why you're ignorant, because you don't read.
Whatever.
If you believe in the Quran, then you know there is only one Allah.
Which Allah?
Allah is one.
Which Allah?
There is only one Allah.
Is that the one which came to the earth and raped Mary and made Isa? Is that the one?
We do not believe that Allah came to the earth and raped Mary. Maybe you're confused with Christians.
No,
if you
no,
can
no.
show me an ayah in the Quran, I'll hand it to you. Okay. There you go. Show it to me. Quran does it say that?
Not interested. Who cares?
If you actually watch that FD Signifier video, he says that people should love who they love. Lamau. He just breaks down the stupid things that black people say and some cultural history along with looking at actual data.
I might watch that on my spare time. I don't think I'm going to react to it on stream then. Thanks for the donation, Dreamzation. Dodo donate $2. Don't worry, Gigalardo, and I will gather up the army and help you to win the Kick or Keep stream by voting for you. Okay, well, thank you, Dodo. I appreciate that. Thanks for the donation, man.
A Sky reporter was there and he said to the police the way they have all been protecting Hamas and how they've handled and reported on the situation, which is true. Police allowed people to shout and promote terrorism, and Sky reporting false news on Israel.
That is true. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Or, sorry, Bootycum. Appreciate it. I am so fucking tired. I'm gonna take some nicotine. Have I ever self-harmed? Yeah. Like, hit myself and stuff.
Animal rights activists have taken over the conversation in the last 50 years and skewed the data and infected our culture into just assuming meat is bad for us and the planet.
Animal rights activists are not responsible for the research showing that meat bad, plant good. So don't blame it on animal rights activists. Blame it on fucking facts, dipshit.
Planet without ever investigating if this is scientific fact. This is a story about humans and what we require to thrive, and how our environment has a perfect natural system that needs animals.
Yeah, so our ancient ancestors had an average life expectancy of about 30. So I don't know what this guy considers thriving, but yeah, I think when you're dying around age 30, you're probably not thriving too much.
Animal inputs and healthy soil. Humans, plants, animals, the soil, bacteria, we've all evolved together. You can't just take one out of the system. Yet somehow people these days think that that's the case and that we'd be better off by doing so. The main thing I wanted to leave you with today is that you've been deceived. Meat is not hurting the environment or your precious little insides.
It is demonstrably, provably hurting the environment. It's the #1 cause of species extinction. It's the #1 cause of habitat loss. It is a major contributing factor to global greenhouse gas emissions, about 30% contribution. Like, this guy's a fucking clown.
There's 3.5 million years of meat eating that made us human and continue to keep us healthy today. Let's see.
These conservatives won't stop.
Let me see,
and what
Dodo.
if President Biden came up and said hi to you today? Nice day in Fort Dodge, and talked to you. What would you say to him?
See what the back of that gentleman's hat says?
I didn't see it.
Right there. Turn around a minute. That's what the back of my truck says.
And what is that?
Joe Biden.
You would say that to his face?
Sure would. He's worthless.
What's one thing you'd like to tell the president now, you know, the good or bad or anything that you would say to President Biden?
He says he could whoop anybody and stuff. I says, I'll take you out in the back alley and we'll see what you can do.
Well, I don't want to start a fight. I'm just talking about the president coming out here and saying hello. And what if President Biden came up and said, hey, how you doing? Beautiful day in Fort Dodge.
I'd say, it sure is.
It's funny how loud and aggressive Muslim debaters are. They just scream at people while claiming how their stupid beliefs are all about love. I honestly don't think mankind will ever reach its full potential unless these religions cease to exist.
I would agree, Adam. I would agree. Thanks for that donation, though, dude. Whatever. Fucking boring, dude.
See the evidence by going through a 6-step journey, beginning with how we evolved.
You can't just invoke evolution and say, evolution, therefore meat eating's good for us. You need to show things like randomized trials, prospective cohorts. If you're just invoking the theory of evolution, you have no evidence. You're just making assumptions.
This is what early humans were eating. These animals made up the majority of our diet. There was plenty of megafauna roaming the earth.
That is not true. There are many different human diets.
Hey VG, remember the time when you were honking your motorcycle and bitching that I was going too slow on the road? Then I came out and knocked you out. Good times, eh?
That never happened. Thanks for the donation, Harvey. Yeah, so there's many different human diets. Humans span the globe, so claiming, oh, we all ate nothing but woolly mammoths, it's just fucking idiotic. You can find Neanderthal specimens where they clearly ate like a 90% plant-based diet. And you can find other human specimens where they ate a predominantly meat-based diet. Dodo Donate $2. Remember how you used to record some short clips of you debating street preacher? Are there ever Muslim preachers doing the same thing that you confront but don't record? I don't think I ever recorded any. You should record it. Or are you afraid to confront them and talk about Aisha's age because they kill you? I've never really debated with Muslims in, what is it? Young Dundas Square? I just never really ran into them. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
And all major continents. We could easily hunt these animals, and they've provided us with a bounty of fatty meat. We know this from radioisotope nitrogen levels from early human remains. There's actually over 27 lines of evidence.
Yeah, the nitrogen isotope studies are extremely unreliable. You will find deer having more like nitrogen isotopes associated with meat eating than like lions. Like they're just unreliable studies. You can't rely on these nitrogen isotope studies to determine like how much meat early humans ate. I can't remember the fucking explanation for why they're unreliable, but yeah, it's just bullshit. And even if it were true, we ate a lot of meat in our past, who cares? Show us the randomized trials and the prospective cohorts showing that meat eating is good for us. You can't, because they all show that meat eating is bad for us.
Showing early human...
Frank Saladino donated, don't mind food lies. He's a professional ranter, lol. He just writes a bunch of bullshit and practices his lines before the show. Strange how he never mentioned our ancestors also ate wolves, saber-tooths, and fanged animals. That's why they are extinct now. I don't know. Who cares? Like, this whole... Like, I've heard this bullshit for as long as I've been on YouTube, like 10 years. I don't care about, like, this idea that our ancient ancestors did something. Our ancient ancestors might have put sticks up their butt. What does it have to do with what's healthy? Thanks for the donation, though, Frank Saladino.
Humans were high trophic level carnivores, the top of the food chain. We used...
Yeah, so you'll notice that we had... So, look at the problem here.
You can't hunt the Sargo antelope though they're almost extinct.
Well, they're very beautiful animals. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. So look at the problem here. According to him, humans ate more meat than fucking lions and wolves. What sense does that make? Like, literally his own chart makes no fucking sense. So, like, point proven. Humans weren't eating more meat than fucking lions and wolves.
There's actually over 27 lines of evidence showing early humans were high trophic level carnivores, the top of the food chain. We use tools in our superior...
Yeah, look at this shit. Woolly mammoths are higher than fucking lions. Like, this whole chart is nonsense.
We use tools in our superior intellect to become the apex predator. This changed our digestive system. We evolved away from subsisting on low-quality plant foods and instead required highly nutrient-dense animal foods. We can't ferment large amounts of plant foods like our ancestors.
So you don't need to ferment plant foods in order to consume them. You can select for foods that have higher carbohydrate content, that have less latex, less fiber, and cooking also would probably be a factor in reducing the size of our gut. Like, by the way, it's funny how he mentions, like, oh, look, human intestine and size is so different. Like, he doesn't mention other fucking adaptations we made for eating plants. So, amylase copy genes. Like, how is he going to fucking say, oh, we kept eating more and more and more meat, less and less and less plants, but we evolved amylase copy gene mutations? If we weren't eating more plants and more starchy, carbohydrate-rich plant foods, please explain why we have so many amylase copy gene mutations.
Our small intestine got longer, where we extracted nutrition from meat, and the hindgut got shorter, where plant...
Yes, because that's why we have a larger small intestine, because meat. Please show me the fucking evidence for that. Oh, you can't.
fermentation takes place. We're a completely different species now, requiring different nutrition. Scientists believe early humans began scavenging
This guy is built like a fucking twig. I haven't eaten meat in 13 years. Please explain to me why I'm not withering away. Huh? Why is that? I wonder.
carcasses. This slowly changed our stomach pH from our primate ancestors to something...
So this is an incredibly misleading chart. Our stomach pH varies depending on the food you eat. Thanks for the donation, Creeper Clown. Appreciate it. This is an incredibly misleading chart. Your stomach pH will vary depending on the food you're eating, and this will be the case for any animal. Okay, cows will have a stomach pH that goes lower. Same with any other herbivorous animal. It will go lower depending on what they're eating. Your stomach pH might be higher if you eat certain foods, might be lower if you eat certain foods. Your stomach pH isn't at a constant fucking level.
Very acidic to be able to handle this. Our stomach acid pH is lower than many carnivores and similar to another...
It's not. It is not. It depends on the food you eat.
...scavenger, the hyena. There's much more of this...
Dodo Donatillers, I think Warlin Dor is Saga Anderson's father, because remember how she never met her father in Odin, and Tor said he was bad guy and stuff, and also Odin and Tor are probably my favorite characters in the game. What about you? Yeah, Odin and Tor were pretty funny. That could be the case. That would make sense. It would also explain why she has the powers she has. Because if her father is like some sort of interdimensional being, that would explain why she has those sort of weird mind powers. But thanks for the donation, Dodo. Bootycum donated $2, $6.30, lol burn, haha. Let me take a look.
Well, we've got a problem, yeah? That's fascism. When they want to control who is media and who isn't. I've not found one person yet, have you? No, I'm here to do my job as a journalist. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Sky News, your reporting on this conflict has been an absolute disgrace. Kay Burney's a disgrace. Exactly. You have taken the side of Hamas. You have pushed propaganda from Hamas. The figures you use are from Hamas. Don't tell me I'm a disgrace. Don't ask me.
That is a sick burn. Sky News, like every fucking news outlet, has just had the worst coverage. Thanks for that donation, though, Bootycam. Dodo $2, you know what's crazy? I was watching the original stream on Twitch when you said you want to slide a knife across Mr. Repsion's throat. Watch him look scared and he's dying. I was watching live when you said that. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I got pissed off at him because he was making false copyright claims against my channel. That's why I got so mad, and I think if people knew the context behind that, it would be a little more they'd be a little more understanding. But thanks for the donation, Dodo. Bootycom donated $2. Doing that thing again, sending wrong vid. Let me see.
You have said that you don't believe. You have said that you don't believe in taking women as war babies, and you don't believe in having sex with slaves. Your book says you can kill babies. So was Muhammad right or wrong when he permitted it?
Shush!
Okay, answer the question.
Shush! Don't talk about the Bible. You're talking about morality, yes? You're talking about morality.
How do you think you are?
Hold on, how can you speak to me when your book says...
Oh, dodge. He's dodging. Dude! The whole crowd's going against him.
He's not answering the question. Bob, you don't answer the question. Your book says you can kill. Answer the question. There's nothing you can... Was Muhammad right or wrong?
Dude, that's hilarious. What a fucking coward. Fucking got him. Thanks for the donation, Bootycam. Sid donated $2. When Dodo and Gigliardo are in their 70s, they will be Odin and Tor. Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. Thanks for the donation, Sid.
Science, but the point is we became human because of meat and animal fat. This is how our brains...
No, there's no evidence that our brains increased in size due to eating meat. That's just ridiculous. There may have been certain behaviors, selective pressures, that necessitated a higher, like a bigger brain capacity. So being able to work in groups that and larger social circles, that would increase brain capacity. Being able to make tools, that would increase brain capacity or require greater brain capacity. There's selective pressures that increased our brain capacity, but food itself doesn't increase brain capacity. Like, if eating meat made you a fucking genius, then our cats would be doing our fucking algebra homework. Like, again, I don't mean to insult anybody's cat, but I don't see a fucking correlation between meat eating and intelligence.
Wow, Mary from the storybook, Bible, was 12 to 14 years old when she got impregnated by the Holy Spirit. It all makes sense as to why MAGA white, Christian, Republicans want to bring back child marriage. Yuck, disgusting perverted pedophiles.
Yeah, I think most biblical scholars think she was 14 at the time. But yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of pedophilia in these holy books. Thanks for that donation, Ben. I can barely fucking concentrate. Holy shit, there's so much noise. Bootycom donated $2. Carry on watching for a few more seconds. Whole crowd telling him to answer. I get it. I don't really need to see that. But yeah, he got fucking owned and he couldn't answer. It's pretty funny. Thanks for that donation, Bootycom. Richard donated $2. I know you're against probiotic supplements, but apparently the spore probiotic can survive stomach acid bile, produces vitamins and antioxidants in the gut. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Even if it can, who cares? I'd need to be, like, convinced of it being a benefit. Like, show me the randomized trials of this doing anything for anybody. So, again, I'd recommend against taking probiotic supplements unless you can actually demonstrate a benefit to it. Thanks for the donation there, Richard.
Alhamdulillah, 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 alhamdulillah.
Thank you for that, Majin Buu. Excellent spam. Appreciate the donation.
Do you take creatine? According to Dr. Brad, it doesn't cause hair loss and has great benefits.
I do take creatine. It does have good benefits. The hair loss thing... The reason you hear the creatine hair loss thing is because of a study on rugby players where it was associated with an increase in DHT being associated with hair loss. But the results of that study weren't repeatable, and they didn't directly assess hair loss. But yeah, it has cognitive benefits. So aside from the physical benefits of, increasing power output and stuff, it does seem to have cognitive benefits. Thanks for the donation, though, Sean. Appreciate it.
Humans grew and we evolved from plant eaters. Our bodies evolved to thrive on the nutrition from meat and animal fat, and substitutes aren't as good. This data is from modern hunter-gatherers, which give us a window into our past. Although many giant animals died out, so we were forced to eat more plant foods. But as you can see, most societies are animal-based. Plants are a side dish.
No, that is not true. Most hunter-gatherer societies are not animal-based. So I think what he's doing is he's taking Lauren Cordain's research. I'm pretty sure that's what this chart is from. He only looked at hunter-gatherer populations in the northern hemisphere. That, what that means is you're going to see a disproportionate amount of hunter-gatherer populations that subsist off of meat just because of the colder climate they live in. But no, that's not true. Most hunter-gatherer populations subsist primarily off of animal foods. There are many that subsist primarily off of plant foods. And who cares? I don't care what these people are fucking eating. I care what's healthy and what's not. So again, show me the randomized trials, show me the prospective cohorts. Who cares what a bunch of fucking dumbasses who live in the fucking woods are eating?
Or something we ate when we couldn't get an animal. We study these societies and find that plants are fallback foods.
Not
so what
true.
happened? For all of history, we knew animals were the pillar of health. We lost our way. We had some bad theories and did some...
Guess what? You can look at hunter-gatherer cultures. They think that tobacco is healthy. They smoke tobacco because they think it has health benefits. Like this idea of, ancient wisdom. People back then knew it was healthy, but for some reason now we're stupid and we think these foods that are healthy aren't, it's idiotic. You can find plenty of fucking cultural practices that people think are healthy from these hunter-gatherer societies that are terrible for you. They think tobacco is healthy. They practice genital mutilation and they think that's healthy. It doesn't mean anything. Show us randomized trials. Show us prospective cohorts.
Bad science. So we have foods we've been eating for all of history over here, and then we have an influx of highly processed foods. We then went through 70 years.
Hell yeah, dude. This body's built off of fucking flour and oil and sugar. Look at me. Fucking Chad.
Years of blaming health problems on red meat. This is deception number one. Processed foods, sugar, refined grains, and vegetable oils are the real problem, not meat. They have
vegetable oils are good for you, so you're an idiot.
The most damaging health effects. So how did we get this wrong? We had a heart disease epidemic in the 50s. And
what's hilarious is you'll see a big overlap between people who eat a carnivore diet and people who believe the earth is flat. That's the funny thing here.
Jumped to some conclusions. A guy named Ansel Keys made some spurious correlation. There was another scientist named John Yudkin that had the correct theory, but Ansel Keys won out.
What? North Middle East animals were far more valued, especially during the flooding period. What the fuck are you talking about?
We'll skip this, it'll be covered in my film. But basically, we made mistakes and wrongly demonized cholesterol and saturated fat, which opened the door to...
Cholesterol and saturated fat are the... Well, cholesterol is a different story, sort of, but saturated fat is the biggest contributor to high serum cholesterol. Obesity probably plays a bigger role on your serum cholesterol score than actual dietary cholesterol. But saturated fat and dietary cholesterol increase your serum cholesterol score, and that's the principal risk factor in heart disease. That is undeniable. Like, the case is closed on this. And again, ironically, denying this is no different than like being a flat earther.
To the processed food industry, low-fat products, and the fat is bad paradigm. This led to the food pyramid with a base of processed carbohydrates and a call to...
That is not true. The food pyramid does not fucking encourage you to eat processed carbohydrates. Show me one fucking food pyramid from any government agency like the USDA. Show me where they're recommending you eat white rice, processed sugar, like refined grains. Like, no, they're telling you to eat mostly whole grains.
To limit meat, eggs, butter, and especially red meat. And guess what?
Yeah, that's because guess what? Those foods are associated with chronic disease and early mortality based on randomized trial data and prospective cohorts. And of course, he can't show any randomized trials or prospective cohorts showing a positive correlation between longevity and lower disease risk and high meat consumption. So what he has to do is say, this is when the dietary guidelines were introduced, and this is how obesity skyrocketed. Like, oh my god, this is just nauseating. Kid Boo donated $2. Beyonce at her new movie premiere getting her cultural appropriation on. Why she out here in whiteface with white hair? What? I don't care. Whatever. I don't know why your skin looks so light, but it might just be because of the way they white balanced everything, but whatever.
Happen. Our health rapidly deteriorated. Obesity and chronic disease took off, and
you can look at what foods are most correlated with obesity. Meat, dairy, and eggs are most correlated with obesity. Whole grains, fruits, and vegetables are not correlated with obesity. Dodo donated $2. Let me see.
Tonight, a manhunt underway for the suspect who police say shot and injured 3 Palestinian U.S. college students who were visiting family in Burlington, Vermont for Thanksgiving.
All units be advised.
If they were involved in a pro-Palestine protest, then good riddance.
Sheriff's office.
A SWAT team burst into a house in Florida after a 911 call claimed a man was holding his wife at gunpoint. In fact, it's a swatting prank, a total hoax. The homeowner, Adam Gillette, was targeted apparently in retaliation for his campaign to shame alleged anti-Semites at Ivy League schools.
These incidents can end in deadly situations, and I'm very, very fortunate that neither my wife nor I were there.
Jesus, that's fucking crazy. Shutting down the Manhattan Bridge, calling for a permanent ceasefire. Right, permanent ceasefire so Jews can just get holocausted. Right. Fucking retards. Hour 3, Manhattan Bridge blockade. Just, like, where are the fucking crazy people who, like, want to commit a mass killing with, like, a truck? Where are they when this happens? Like, the fucking guy waited until there was a Christmas Day parade to run over fucking, you know, people. Why didn't he wait for this? Holy shit, these people are idiotic. They're, like, literally pro-genocide. And pro-genocide of Israelis. And yet they're the ones who are, like, you know, talking about how, oh, we need to end the genocide. No, like, no, you're pro-genocide. You want fucking Jews to get genocided. You fucking tool to bet against this man named Elon Musk. Elon Musk's a fucking idiot.
I know people who know Elon Musk very well, who've worked for him, and they really admire him. He has the ability to do exactly what he did. He went into Twitter and he said, all you people, you're gone. And he just does it.
Yes, if you own a company, you can fire people.
He's a good observer of the Pareto principle. A small minority of people do all the productive work. He's got rid.
Yes, that's why he had to beg so many employees to come back to work, because he fired off essential workers.
75% of the people, and Twitter is still working.
Yeah, working. So it's making less money than it did before. In fact, Twitter was making profits before. Then when Musk came on, they're running at a massive deficit, so high that they actually can't pay for the rent for their offices.
Right, exactly. And so he's also put the boots to the people who are trafficking in child sexual exploitation already.
Sure he did.
Incredible. Right, incredible in 2 ways. Incredible that he did it, but even more incredible that he could do it that fast.
This guy's, Jordan Peterson's fucking delusional.
And people say, well, we didn't really, follow the guidelines. Well, we did. We followed them well. Butter went down, eggs went
Curious about my view on life. I don't know what you mean by that. You're gonna have to ask a more specific question.
down. Red meat went down. Grains and sugars skyrocketed. If meat is so bad for us, then why did all our health problems start as meat and animal fat declines?
So if you actually look at per capita heart disease death rates, they peaked in the 1960s. That's because of smoking prevalence. And currently, they're at about the same level, actually slightly lower than at the turn of the 20th century. So we have less heart disease deaths per capita now than we did in the early 1900s. And that's despite higher levels of obesity. So that should tell you something. Maybe the change in diet, so lower saturated fat consumption, eating more vegetable oils and margarines, is beneficial, along with, the improvements in medication. We have cholesterol-lowering medication now. So he's saying this, but heart disease death rates are lower than they have been before.
Nobody's talking about this side of things. So we have a ton more questionable science. This is just one example. When the WHO...
What do you think about the hospital incident in Palestine and the idiots suddenly forgetting that the hospital sunk something they should not do unless placed under terror tunnel? What? I don't know what you mean by that. El Shifa Hospital was a Hamas military outpost. So Israel, like the IDF, were totally justified attacking El Shifa.
panel decided meat was a carcinogen. They ignored counter evidence. Even the studies they did look.
The fuck is he talking about? The WHO based their recommendation to avoid red meat because it's a probable cancer-causing carcinogen mostly off of mechanistic research. And they admitted there was mixed data in prospective trials, but relatively consistently in prospective cohorts, you did see an increase in cancer risk with higher meat consumption. The reason why you see mixed data is because not all prospective cohorts use the same analyses when it comes to high versus low meat consumers. So when you have an adequate difference between low and high red meat consumers, you will see correlations with cancer. When there isn't an adequate difference, then you don't see a correlation. I think what was it? Can't remember what paper. I know in the Medarex study, they made that mistake. Like literally, they were looking at in their analysis, one of the papers, like they only had a difference of literally a mouthful, like one piece of meat per day. Like obviously, you're not going to see a difference when there's like practically no difference between high versus low consumers. But again, they based their fucking findings off of very strong mechanistic evidence and sort of medium style, like mixed prospective cohort data.
It was a toss-up, 15-14, for if red meat was good or bad. And no, these were correlational studies. And guess what?
Literally every single study is going to be correlational, even if it's a randomized trial. This guy doesn't understand how research is conducted. Even randomized trials are correlational All nutrition and health research is correlational. So this guy doesn't even understand, the research he's talking about.
There's only a 0.18% risk factor compared to smoking, which is
Not true. So there is relative and absolute risk depending on the cancer site you're talking about. Yeah, the absolute risk increase might be small, but the relative risk increase might be rather significant. So again, it entirely depends on how much meat you're consuming. It depends on the cancer-specific site. It depends on the type of red meat you're consuming, whether it's processed or fresh red meat. But that's just misleading. He's just cherry-picking the lowest fucking statistic he can possibly find.
there's a 10 to 30% risk factor. These are completely different situations. So we have to move on to the nutrition story. Plants have a lower bioavailability of nutrients. We can't get the same nutrition from them. Even what's listed on the
Right, that's why I'm twice your size and I'm bigger and stronger than you, because plants have less bioavailable nutrition.
package or on the USDA food list is not accurate. Our body is not able to absorb all the nutrients.
He's literally pulling these numbers out of his ass. The body can only absorb 1.4 to 7% of the iron in plants. Your body has no ability to rid itself of excess iron, so we've adapted to manage iron absorption at the enterocyte so that we don't overload our body with excess iron. So iron absorption is going to be modulated by your body's iron stores. So the iron in plants has to go through this regulatory mechanism. That's why you see lower rates of iron absorption in plants, because it's modulated by a regulatory mechanism in the enterocyte. Heme iron isn't. So yes, it can bypass your body's regulatory mechanisms when it comes to iron absorption. That doesn't mean iron sources in plants are worse for you. Dodo $92. You know what I wonder? So you know how if you convert to Judaism, you can become a citizen of Israel, right? Why don't Venezuelan migrants convert and move?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe they haven't figured it out yet.
Breaking Bad 2 parody trailer. Maybe this will motivate you to watch LOL. I'm pretty sure there's some fans in chat that will appreciate this.
This is Bryan Cranston. The official trailer for Breaking Bad 2 starts in 3, 2, 1.
Everything that I did, everything.
Uncle Hank, you still alive?
I don't understand any of the references, so I don't want to watch that because I'm worried about copyright, but thanks for the donation, N-word.
Where y'all from? Israel. Are you having trauma from Israel? Hey.
Don't care.
Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream! Now.
Thanks for that, Dodo. You always give me the worst videos.
List is not accurate. Our body is not able to absorb all the nutrients. While animal foods do allow us to get more from them, red meat and things like eggs actually provide the most nutrient-dense, complete nutrition on Earth. Look at this quote from a peer-reviewed.
Cool story. So why do heavy meat consumers not live as long, dipshit?
Scientific study. Plant-based foods are the major cause of deficiencies because of their lack of bioavailable nutrition. Plant sources of
Nope. The cause of nutrient deficiencies are due to inadequate dietary intake, not because people are eating plants.
omega-3 have very low bioavailability. It's converted to usable DHA at only 0 to 4%. That's terrible.
Then consume DHA and EPA in the form of algae-based supplement.
However, you can get fully formed DHA, iodine, and iron from seafood and other animal foods. Protein.
So DHA is only in fish because they consume algae. So you can skip a step. The reason fish have iodine is, again, because they consume iodine-producing plants like algae, like other sea vegetables like nori. So, stupid.
Protein in beef is almost 3 times as bioavailable than in beans. If you're
That is not true.
not eating beef, you'd have to
Yeah, that's literally just made up bullshit.
eat 3 times the calories to
No, you don't.
get the same protein. This is the
You do not.
opposite of what we need in a diabetes and obese world.
So if you look at true nitrogen absorption through the intestinal wall, it's almost identical. You see about a 2 or 3% difference.
Yet somehow it's taboo to talk
Yeah, if you look at true ileal digestibility, there's only about 2-3% difference.
about the
Is supplementing 300 micrograms of iodine from kelp enough?
Probably. I don't know what the RDA is. I just look at the RDA and get close to the RDA. Thanks for the donation, though, Sean.
benefits of beef. Let's look at sardines. Although liver would be healthier, orders of magnitude more nutrition than so-called healthy plant foods. Through all our
Yeah, nutrients. Too bad these nutrients don't help you live longer because, again, people who consume a lot of meat, they live shorter lives.
cultivation, a lot of fruit is basically just a bunch of sugar. Okay, moving on to new science. We found out
Yes, fruit is just sugar.
I found myself watching one of Greg's videos, and then realized it was like my brain was being shredded by razor blades, so I came to my senses. Here's Maui. No.
Let me take a look. Oh my god. Now, that is a handsome orange kitty. Thanks for the donation, then, though. Appreciate it. That is a wonderful cat. Yeah, so fruit isn't just sugar. It has fiber, vitamins, small amount of minerals for most fruits, but you also get a lot of antioxidants that, help you live longer.
a lot more since the days where we thought fat and meat were bad for you. Here's some data showing how we got saturated fat wrong. In the European population, death rate actually goes down with higher saturated fat intake.
That is not true. So I think what he's doing is he's looking at the... What was this? I think this was from the Pure study. The Pure study, I'm assuming... Like, he doesn't show the source for any of these slides. I think what he's talking about is the Pure study. The Pure study, saturated fat as percent of energy. This might not be the Pure study. I don't know what the source is, so it's hard to criticize. But yeah, no, if you look at randomized trial data, coronary heart disease deaths increase with increasing saturated fat intake. So I don't even know what the fuck this is from.
Saturated fat wrong. In the European population, death rate actually goes down with higher saturated fat intake. We also got cholesterol wrong. Limits on cholesterol have been quietly taken off the dietary.
Again, no source for any of this. What is... Oh, here we go. So... So he just cherry-picked a single weight loss trial. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with anything. So the low carbohydrate diet group just lost more weight. That has nothing to do with a particular diet being better for biomarkers. It's just that particular trial, one group
Based
lost
on
more
the balance
weight.
of evidence, and taking into account study design, size, quality, control of potential confounding, exposure assessment, and magnitude of risk, an increased risk of cancer.
Red and processed meat and colorectal cancer incidence meta-analysis of prospective studies. Conclusion, high intake of red processed meat is associated with significant increased risk of colorectal, colon, and rectal cancers. Overall evidence of prospective studies support limiting red meat and processed red meat as one of the dietary recommendations to the yeah. No shit. But remember, evolution, though. Thanks for that donation, Ben.
Guidelines. Nobody's heard about that, I'm guessing. No. This is a lot to take in, but every blood marking.
Yeah, so he's just referencing one single weight loss trial. And, okay, they lost more weight. Big deal.
Including the patient's weight, improved with a low-carb, high-fat, high-animal foods diet. Triglycerides got better, HDL better, glucose, everything. Not what the news outlets are reporting.
Yeah, no shit. It's because they lost more weight, stupid.
Not what the public has heard. Then we have people like Dr. Eric Westman, who works with very low-income people in North Carolina and reverses diabetes and obesity with cheap grocery store beef, eggs, and even McDonald's patties. We should be lowering...
And that is because he is getting them to lose weight, dumbass. That's the principal risk factor for diabetes. So if you're able to make somebody lose enough weight, yes, you're probably going to be able to reverse their diabetes.
Glucose and insulin, not meat, for longevity and health. The real dangerous diet is one of constant glucose and insulin spikes from processed carbs and sugar. So like
processed carbohydrates and sugar are not correlated with diabetes when you adjust for caloric intake. Whereas saturated fat is. So again, more nonsense.
Like I said, a lot of science out there. Huge amount of studies showing the superior effects of low-carb diets, which most often are high animal foods and definitely high fat. There are now over 100 studies, actually. Not what's being reported in the media. One study showed...
No shit. They're weight loss trials. If you lose weight, you're going to see improvements in insulin sensitivity and other disease markers. Weight loss itself improves these markers. This has nothing to do with the particular type of diet they're on.
A high-fat diet reversing type 2 diabetes in 60% of patients after 1 year.
That's because they lost enough weight.
Amazing miracle study, zero coverage.
It has nothing to do with the particular type of diet they're on.
In the media. Very strange, if you ask me. Now, there's some people who are curing a lot of health conditions by only eating meat. These guys are carnivores. They're a little extreme. For example, these two have eaten nothing but steak for 19 years. They're basically aging in reverse. This is how our ancestors ate, so it's not...
Oh, wow, 2 people. I can find vegans that are their age that look as good, if not better than them. Okay, does that prove anything?
Not surprising our bodies do very well eating like this. Since eating mostly animal foods, I've never felt better. I have endless energy, I no longer get sick, and much more.
Okay, you do push-ups. Congratulations.
It's not just me. There's thousands of these, tens of thousands of these people. So, now to a super important issue.
This guy's like skinny as shit, and he's like, look how fucking awesome I am.
The environment. Before we begin, I have to say, the meat we have today, even conventionally grown in feedlots, is perfectly healthy and nutritious. It's basically the same as we've been always eating. I hate to support conventional feedlots, but I guess that's what I'm here to do in this little talk today. First of all, why are we talking about animal agriculture when it comes to greenhouse gases and climate change? It's deception number 2 and a smoke.
If you look at total life cycle emissions and mitigation potential, it seems animal agriculture is responsible for roughly 30% of global greenhouse gas emissions. This is from the EPA data, right? Okay, and again, he doesn't show the source. A lot of these slides, he doesn't show the source.
Number 2, and a smokescreen by animal rights activists to stop us from eating meat. The real problem is fossil fuels. These 3 industries are 80% of the emissions. If people really cared about emissions,
I don't know if this is from the EPA or not. He doesn't show a source, so it's hard to criticize.
Food, they'd be telling people to eat less rice, which produces tons of methane. They'd also tell people not to eat potato.
What would you do if you got a venom suit? I asked this guy, but his response was too strange to use in my documentary.
If I got a venom suit, I would crush my enemies.
I'll just catch a bitch ass nigga restreaming me, go through the motherfucking window, like, seeing it like, suck them dry.
I don't think the venom suit is really for blowjobs, but yeah, I just crush my enemies. Thanks for the donation, Venom fan. Dude, having a symbiote would be so sick.
Potato chips, which are the #1 producer of greenhouse gases. Yes, potato chips have the #1 carbon footprint for food.
They do not. He is making that up again.
The methane cows produce is part of a cycle. This is very important, everyone. Methane is a short-lived gas. It only...
Yeah, so if you indefinitely increase methane output, it does not just... So here's the best analogy I can use. Think of if you're filling up a bathtub with water and you open the drain. That's basically the argument they're making with this cycle argument. They're saying, okay, well, you're adding methane. The analogy here, the methane would be the water going into the bathtub. But because it's part of the cycle and it's uptake by the soil, okay, it goes down the drain. And the tub will never overfill. Well, if you keep adding more and more methane and you keep you just increase the water output enough to where it doesn't go down the drain fast enough, yes, the tub will overfill. That's basically what's happening with both CO2 and methane. We keep increasing methane outputs with fossil fuels, with livestock, with other fucking methane sources. And it keeps increasing. You can just look at the numbers. Methane is increasing in the atmosphere. So you can't just say, oh, well, it's part of a cycle. Well, you're overloading the cycle by just increasing methane, indefinitely. This whole methane and CO2 cycle argument, it's intentionally used to mislead people.
It stays around for 10 years. It's a flow gas. Meaning it's recycled. It goes from the grass into the cow, into the air, and then back into the grass. We don't have more cows than 45 years ago. The herd size has actually stayed the same. So cattle is not the issue.
Yeah, I don't know if that figure is true, but methane is increasing in the atmosphere. It may not be primarily from livestock, but it is increasing.
But CO2 stays around for 1,000 years. It's a stock gas, meaning it's a one-way street.
What is that? What is that? What'd you get? Sick. Did you get any chips? No, I well, I didn't hear you.
Sv3rige Black Bill video. Also, if a movie was made about your life, what actor would you want to play yourself when you started your channel, if you couldn't play yourself in the film?
What? Yeah, but I want chips too. It's not enough.
You're complaining and I got you something?
Well, if I didn't reply, then I didn't hear you. Obviously, I'm gonna reply.
I at least thought of you and got you something.
Yeah, thanks.
Faggot.
Sv3rige Black Pill video. What actor would I want to play as myself? I don't know if there's really any actor that could play me well. I think the actor I'd most want to play me is Jake Gyllenhaal in blackface.
FYI, that meta-analysis of 10 prospective cohort studies linking processed and unprocessed red meat and colorectal cancer is the paper in which the UC of the WHO made the conclusion that processed meat causes cancer. It was a really precise and accurate paper.
Interesting. Thanks for telling me that. Appreciate the donation, Ben. Yeah, I'd want Jake Gyllenhaal to wear blackface to play me in a Vegan Gains movie. I don't know if we'll watch the Sv3rige video, but we'll take a quick look. Thanks for the donation, Bitchard. Dodo donated $2. The Nazis who took over Manhattan Bridge earlier are no longer halting traffic.
So I've been redesigning signs in New York City without anyone asking me to. For instance, take this flyer that I found for Myra, the dog walker. Don't get me wrong, this photo is incredible. But in a city with 1 million signs on the street, Myra's design just doesn't pop. So I went ahead and made Myra a logo by modifying a vintage font. Then I added some cute illustration and comforting colors that reflect the warmth and playfulness that shines through in her photo. I couldn't draw Myra in a way that would top this, so I found a way for her original photo to shine through my design. But hold on just a second. As I'm putting up Myra's flyer, I notice a second Myra flyer. Guys, Myra is a certified hustler. It's a good thing I already established her brand identity, which makes creating this second flyer for her babysitting business much easier. See, I don't know who Myra is, but hopefully after all this, the Myra brand...
Ugh. I just want to vomit in my own mouth, dude.
So when the movie was coming out, I actually happened to run into Nancy Reagan, and I said, I got this movie coming out. She said, let's screen it. So we sent it to Camp David. And the following week, Reagan comes into the meeting of his generals and says, has anyone seen this movie, War Games? Kid could start World War III by accident. And it really got him thinking. And his generals looked into it and said, oh, yeah, it could happen.
As it turns out that a lot of even the current cybersecurity laws that are on the books in the U.S. government sort of have their foundation in that screening and in what happened as a result of that. It was a real sort of case study in how popular culture and story can actually have an effect on policy.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Even if you got to the speed of light, near the speed of light, you're not going to reach the speed of light, near the speed of light. You want to cross the galaxy? We'll watch you do this. By our time reckoning, it'll take you 100,000 years to cross the galaxy at the speed of light. By the way, you will age much more slowly, but we who sent you will see you take 100,000 of our years to do that. You come back, we would have all long forgotten about you. That's if civilization is still here. So none of these drives solve the interstellar travel problem relative to a human lifespan. So what we really need is wormholes. You open a door here, and on the other side of the door, on the back side, you are in another part of the galaxy. By the way, there's a movie called Monsters, Inc. So these are monsters that work at a factory, whose sole job in life is to scare little children.
Just watched TT's vid, he did pretty well. What are your thoughts on nutritional yeast? I just discovered it and am loving it.
Nutritional yeast is great. I like it. Who's TT? I don't know who TT is. Thanks for the donation, though, FF&F.
This factory makes doors. They open the door and go through it, and it is the door of a child's closet to then scare the child. And then they go back through the door, and they're back at the factory.
Yes.
Apollo 8 in 1968 left Earth because there was rumors that Russia was going to do that first, orbited the moon a few times and came back. But since they didn't land, nobody remembers them. I remember them because the first time anybody ever left Earth, and they're orbiting the moon, and it's Christmas Day. And the 3 astronauts took turns reading the first 10 verses of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, and the earth was without form and void. They were compelled to do this. Shortly after that, the head of the American Atheists, Madeleine Murray O'Hair, sued the American government for are mixing the religion with secular activities. I thought about that and I said, if the me of today met the Madeline O'Hare of then, I would have said, Madeline, were you the one who was strapped to a rocket with 3 million pounds of thrust launched into space, 250,000 miles out, seeing Earth for the first time from that distance? Did that happen to you? She would say, no. And I say, then shut the fuck up.
Guys, a lot of you like me to review those black pill videos. That's what I'm going to do today. The video is called Average Man versus 1% of Men by the channel PSL God Mindset.
You're too ugly to be asking this shit, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You don't have ass.
This is just sad.
Excuse me, seconds. No.
If you want to go, it's fine. Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Okay. What's your name? No, it's Sv3rige. That was such.
From Tinder, right? Yeah.
No.
Hi, I'm Nitin.
I have a boyfriend.
I have a boyfriend too. It's okay.
Oh, good for you.
I like to take it up the sometimes.
Okay, have a good day.
You too.
Oh my god. I've seen this guy featured. He comes guy. Strange to include.
Yeah, this is not interesting at all.
We get it deep within the ground and it goes into the atmosphere. This is the real problem.
What do I think of the body positivity movement? Well, it's garbage because it's not about body positivity. It's about coping with the fact that they're unhealthy, overweight, and going to die soon. And they just try to make it seem as though morbid obesity is like this great thing that you shouldn't try to avoid. So I'm in full support of body positivity. Body positivity should be, recognizing that you're not perfect and that's okay. But if you want to be positive about your body, you should be at least trying to make healthier choices. You should be trying to exercise. And if you're in a situation where you can't improve your body because you're disabled or you're deformed in some way, then just be okay with that and, be positive about that. But body positivity should be about, having a good, honest effort to, be a bit healthier and, maybe being okay with some flaws and imperfections, but it should be about health. Not, I'm obese and I eat shit all the time and I eat 10 boxes of fucking Oreos every day. And that's great. That's beautiful. That's not what body positivity is. Dodo Donate Tellers, can you react at 1:24:30?
When people come up to you and they say, Casey, I'm thinking. About being.
Fuck.
It's a good luck. You know what it is? A fucking privilege
Sure.
to get to go home and play with your kids and not worry about rent.
Totally, of course, man. That's the daily struggle. When I was training for this fight, I took it very fucking serious. We trained very
Really?
hard.
Saw the fight.
Yeah, I had to. There's a lot of the line, and this revelation I kept coming to when I was training all this shit is and maybe this is a little harsh, but fuck it. This is not even the right climate to say some shit like this, but
Can't wait to hear
this
where
might
is
get
going.
cut.
Let's go.
Man, life is war. Life is war. Everyone has their own little respective battles every fucking day, struggling, trying to make ends meet, keep up with this, and then obviously in the current climate, I want to be sensitive when I say something like that because someone can have the most trivial struggle in their life that to them is a big deal. Then there's actual war, but man, it is a push and a pull and a fight to survive. And so when people like you and I can be in this position and acknowledge that we are indeed privileged, that we could do certain things and show up to play with your kids at 5 p.m. and not have to worry about rent, significant. And the awareness of that I think is important because not everyone can say that. And
No, Logan.
I'd agree. I don't really have much else to say, but I agree. Dodo tell us what time is the kick or keep stream tomorrow, because I will probs miss it, so can you record it and upload it later? Make sure you don't play copyright content or something. Have to delete it. I think it's going to be at 6. I think usually they're at 6. But yeah, sure. Thanks for that donation, Dodo. Dodo donated $2.
That proved even more thrilling and mind-bending was the Xbox One exclusive Quantum Break. It's a third-person shooter where protagonist Jack Joyce gets caught up in an unimaginable time-splitting conflict with unique powers of his own. And playing the main character is actor Shawn Ashmore. Shawn Ashmore is no stranger to being in games, as you may have also seen him in the dark pictures, Man of Medan. In addition to being in tons of films and shows like X-Men, The Boys, and The Rookie. In Alan Wake 2, he reunites with the creative team of Remedy to be the new mysterious sheriff of Bright Falls, Tim Breaker. The fictional music group Old Gods of Asgard is back in live-action form.
What am I supposed to be watching, dude? All right. Well, anyway, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
This is what we should be worried about. Here's another view of the difference between fossil fuel CO2 emissions compared to food production and all other land uses. Which do you think the problem is? Calculations about land use are misleading. 85% of land for grazing cattle can't be farmed.
So that's false. That's misleading. It can be farmed. It's just that it's not ideal for farming. And on top of that, most of that land also has to rely on forage crops, so corn, soy, to supplement the grass grazing. On top of that, only about 30% of the U.S. beef supply can be supported with only grass grazing. So it's just more misleading bullshit.
What would we do with this valuable land? That is more of the stuff you don't hear about. Now we need to talk about the soil. Plants and crops mainly take from the soil, while animals give back to the soil. Remember this, plants take nutrients and need fossil fuel inputs.
So that's not true. Plants affix nitrogen to the soil. And you also don't see a Prismo. Can you move? Scoot. Yeah, scoot. So yeah, plants can affix nitrogen into the soil, so that's false. And secondly, the majority of our plant agriculture goes to feeding livestock, so...
Animals give back to the soil with their urine and their manure. The health of a nation is dependent on its soil. This is where carbon is sequestered. Tilling the soil and growing monocrops ruins the soil. Many farms are using animals on pasture and are actually putting more carbon into the soil than they're producing. That's right.
That's false. That's being proven completely false. I don't think there's a single farm where that's ever been done, where carbon emissions are lower than carbon inputs.
Only about 11% of a cow's diet over their life is edible to humans. They are not competing with us for food. Modern...
They are. They have to eat such a huge amount of... These percentages are misleading. They have to eat such a huge amount of food that they are actually competing with the food that we produce. So just because 88.4% of a feedlot cow's lifetime diet is edible to humans, that 12% is such a massive amount of food that, yes, like that actually makes up a huge portion of a percentage of a human diet.
Cows are actually adapted to eat grains.
Or the diet of humans.
And they only eat them for a few months. They are fed leftover products from the creation of biofuels. It's a great system. They are recyclers. They also eat leftovers from distilling alcohol. These are things that would just go to waste otherwise and certainly aren't edible to humans. Cows take poor quality protein and turn it into high quality bioavailable protein. Cattle doubles the amount of usable protein from the food that they consume.
Thank you for that. Appreciate the donation, 9014. So yeah, this is totally untrue. Most cows are being fed corn and soy, so that's just not true.
This means calculations are off that you may have heard. They're not considering the bioavailability of the protein cows produce. Yes, they have to eat a lot and they produce some methane, but they upcycle the nutrients. This is nature's miracle. We should be embracing it. Now, this might be the biggest prehistoric-sized elephant in the room we should be talking about. What's the alternative? Spoiler alert, there is no good one. Calculations about feeding the world with only plants are incorrect. In many ways, let's dive into this. The alternative is we would just have to grow millions more acres of pesticide-soaked corn, wheat, and soy.
We would not need to use any more farmland because, again, the majority of soybeans go to feeding livestock animals, so we could just eat those soybeans, dummy.
People talk about meat like there's some magical free source of food with no impact. Remember, monocropping is the real problem. We don't have
If monocropping is the real problem, then why the fuck is this guy supporting feedlot beef? That's where all the monocrops are coming from. They're coming from the animal agriculture industry.
another way to grow enough food to replace meat. And this food isn't a good replacement nutritionally anyway.
No, it is. Guess what? Soy is very nutritious and it doesn't cause fucking cancer.
What about the ethical argument? 25 times more sentient animals die producing crops. Not to mention how many habitats and entire ecosystems are devastated.
No. He's literally making up these fucking numbers. I think he, yeah. 55 times more sentient animal lives get lost to produce 100 kilograms of usable plant protein. He's getting that number from an Australian article. It's not even a peer-reviewed paper. I can't remember what fucking article that was from, but it's not even from a peer-reviewed paper. That's just total misinformation.
Devastated, clearing the land for monocropping. Animals are going to die for any food you produce, so you might as well get the good nutrition by eating them. Nobody's talking about this. There's no alternative or happy ending for animals in the wild. The cruel reality is they either starve or get eaten alive. Animal agriculture actually gives animals an extremely safe, comfortable life with temperature-controlled habitats and vets on site giving them perfect nutrition. Then they go through rigorous standards in the US for a quick, painless death.
This guy is a sick fuck. Animals suffer horribly on these farms. And even if they could get a good life before they die, like he's literally saying, oh yeah, Holocaust is fine as long as you treat your Holocaust victim well before you kill them.
Cows provide so many other products. How many fossil fuels would it take to replace them? There are over 400 products produced from cattle. This is something very few people think about in this discussion. It would take massive amounts of energy and synthetic products to replace these. Worldwide, livestock farming helps the poorest billion people the most. It gives them year-round food, goods, work, and other products. It is more stable than crops, which are subject to weather and infestation. We're sitting here in a $1,000 conference thinking we know what's best for the world. The main environmental footprint of the food supply is food waste. Globally, we waste 40% of all food, and most of this is plant food. Animals can utilize this waste food. So maybe we should cut down on plant foods to help this problem. That's an interesting one to think
That is just so fucking idiotic, dude.
about. All right, let's recap here. Humans evolved to require nutrition.
Okay, so basically he just made up a bunch of numbers, cherry-picked like 2 or 3 studies, and made appeals to nature. Genius. Let's see how my video's doing. Hi, everyone. See, a lot of retards are commenting. Well, don't want to watch Frank Tufano because James Wade isn't here. Wouldn't want to watch it without him. But we can watch some Prophet Muhammad.
Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali was a prominent figure of the Bajila tribe in Yemen. He embraced Islam after the conqueror of Mecca. Beside him, many people from Banu Amas, which was the sub-branch of the Bajila tribe, also embraced Islam. Once he became a Muslim, he and his Muslim followers started to force people of his tribe to destroy the idols they worshipped.
Worshipping idols is haram in Islam. You have to destroy your idols.
But I'm not a Muslim. Why don't you mind your own business?
No. Get rid of them.
Let her keep her idols.
Bend over, donate tellers. Can't believe this cat doesn't find bananas appealing alone. Cat hates bananas.
Dude.
Well, to be fair, that banana probably did something to that cat. I don't know if Prismo likes bananas or not. You Prim, do you like bananas?
You shouldn't harass her.
This area belongs to Islam now, and you cannot worship idols anymore.
How can that be?
That's not right. Come on guys, be tolerant.
Under a lot of pressure from new Muslim converts, people were forced to destroy their idols. Although many idols were destroyed, the biggest one still stood firm, which was the Tul Kalasa. The idol was also a temple with a cube shape, made from white stone or quartz, and is referred to as the Yemenite Kaaba, which was located in Tahala, between Mecca and Sana'a. This white Kaaba was worshipped by the people of Banu Qatham and Bajila.
I cannot destroy such a big idol without a lot of support from all of my fellow Muslims.
One day, Jarir ibn Abdullah visited Prophet Muhammad to pay his homage.
Jarir, how is the condition of your people?
O Rasulallah, Almighty Allah made Islam superior. Adans are called in the mosques and areas of sons of Bajila. The tribes demolished the idols they worshipped.
What had happened to Dul Kalasa?
Oh, it remains as it is.
By Allah, I will be rid of it too. O Jarir, can you not save me from it? Can you not relieve me?
Prophet Muhammad hated the Yemenite Kaaba because it rivaled his Meccan Kaaba. That is why he asked Jarir to destroy that white Kaaba.
Okay, Rasulallah.
He met his Muslim followers of Banu Amas to ask for their support for his mission.
Listen all. Rasulallah ordered us to destroy the Dul Kalasa temple. Come with me, and you will have your share of booty.
Yeah, we will come.
Bring all your friends, we need a lot of troops.
According to Sahih Bukhari number 4355, Jarir rode with 150 horsemen to destroy the Dul Kalasa, the Yemenite Kaaba. When they arrived there, the people of Banu Bajila and Qatham confronted them.
What are you trying to do?
Move away. Prophet Muhammad ordered me to destroy the dual Kalasa.
No way. We won't allow you to do so.
You murderer.
Soon after that, all-out battles started to happen. Jailer Ibn Abdullah killed whoever was.
Think this guy is on gear? He claims Natty has pretty noticeable gyno.
What was his name? He reminds me of, I think Anthony Fantano. He may be on steroids. It's possible. It's just that he's not on enough, like high enough doses, and doesn't have the genetics to get bigger. He does have a lot of gynecomastia. It's very noticeable. He may not be a lifetime natty. It's either that or he just has gyno. Like some people just have it bad, but I don't know. It's hard to tell because he's pretty small, especially his legs. He's a pretty small guy, but you know, he may be on gear. It's possible. I wouldn't say it's, you know, not possible for him to be on gear, but I'm not sure. Thanks for the donation, Justin Bieber. Dodo Donny Tillers, I don't want to watch Adventures of Prophet Muhammad. Can you watch something better? Maybe you can watch a Jubilee video or something. Let me see. Former conservatives versus former liberals. That sounds boring as fuck, dude. Oh, hey. Hunter Avalon's on there. Let's at least finish this Prophet Muhammad video, then we'll give it a watch, okay? Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Present day. At the end of the battle, Jarir ibn Abdullah and his Muslim army killed 100 men of Banu Bajila and 200 men of Banu Qatham. Hisham ibn al-Kalbi in his book titled The Book of Idols, page 30, wrote that a certain woman of Banu Qatham said,
The Banu Mama, each wielding his spear, were slaughtered at Al-Wayb, their abode. They came to defend their shrine, only to find lions with brandished swords clamoring for blood. The women of the Qatham were, then, humiliated by the men of the Ammas, and abased.
How did the Muslims humiliated and abased the Qatham women? Well, we could see how Islam treats the female prisoners in Quran, Surah An-Nisa, verse 24. Also forbidden are married women, except female captives in your possession. This is Allah's commandment to you. Lawful to you are all beyond these, as long as you seek them with your wealth in a legal marriage, not in fornication. While Quran, Surah An-Nisa, verse 24 does not mention slaves outside of a marital context, several other verses, such as Quran Surah Al-Mu'minin, verse 1-6 and Quran, Surah Al-Ma'arij, verse 29-30 make clear reference to sexual activity with slaves with whom the owner is not married by explicitly distinguishing between his sexual access to his wives and his sexual access to his slaves. According to Sharia law book, The Reliance of the Traveler, page 604, number 0913 said when a child or a woman is taken captive, they become slaves by the fact of capture, and the woman's previous marriage is immediately annulled. Why is it important to annul the marriage? That's so that the Muslim soldiers would feel no guilt in abasing the female captives, even when their husbands are still alive. After Jarir distributed female captives, the Muslim soldiers started to humiliate and abase them.
Take her as your booty.
No, no.
Mommy,
Let me go.
Mommy.
I'm
Boy,
married.
that is my wife.
Mommy.
Release her.
Gizmo, the other cute cat, donated $2. I love how that cute little Prismo, the adorable cat, is just calmly sitting right behind your head. He's literally been staring at the same spot for 3 minutes now. Whittle Prismo staring at the door into the abyss. Yes, my little kitty stares into the abyss. Isn't that right, Prim? Primmy's a real sweetie. Thanks for that donation, Gizmo.
Jarir ibn Abdullah and his Muslim soldiers destroyed the Tul Khalasa temple completely.
Kenny donated $2. I keep having dreams where I get shot by some crazy person in public, then I fall to the ground and slowly lose feeling until I wake up. Is this how I'm destined to die? Lol, thanks for the stream, bro. Cheers. I can guarantee you that is how you're destined to die, and it's probably going to happen soon. Thanks for the donation, Kenny.
After that, they burned it down. According to Bukhari, Volume 5, Book 59, number 642, then Jarir sent a man called Abu Ardata from the tribe of Ammaz to the Prophet to convey the good news of destroying Dhul Khalasa. So when the messenger reached the Prophet, he said,
O Rasul Allah! By him who sent you with the truth, I did not leave it till it was like a scabby camel.
Fuck. Dodo donated Prophet Muhammad is bad guy. He absolutely is.
No, you can't. Not unless you get in front of the car as I step
on it. Okay. Sigma vibes.
As you well know, we Western governors, our states are truly on the front lines when it comes to drought, fires, and our rapidly changing climate. We were talking earlier.
All right, well, thank you for that, Dodo. Appreciate the donation.
Participate in your delusion. You'll never meet a Republican that uses pronouns. It's just a fact. It's only
Everybody
the left.
uses pronouns. Just
Everyone
some people choose to
uses-
announce
Okay, well, my
their
pronouns now for the rest of the time are pretty princess.
That's
And if
not
you
a
didn't-
pronoun.
What do you mean?
Those are not even pronouns.
Okay, so what are your
That's
Zize,
grammatic.
Zen, Zer, Ishi?
We are approaching the 150th episode of Middle Ground, and we
This
need your help
sounds like
to
it's gonna
continue
be
making
bad.
more episodes. Join our
I was gonna say, I think both are just two separate cults, because which is so funny. And I think also sides have ironically kind of switched, because as a Republican now, I'm so anti-war. I'm anti-sending money to all these different countries that are not ours, while people are sick from the water and children are starving. Anti-pharmaceutical, anti-big government.
I can't watch this. It's just gonna put me in a terrible mood. Yeah, fuck that.
Seemingly complete, and reality
Hey VG, I'm a carny with what I call Thomas Jefferson syndrome, meaning I recognize the immorality of meat consumption but can't bring myself to give it up. I feel no incentive to change my diet because society accepts this lifestyle. Advice?
The only advice I can give you is to stop being a piece of shit. And that's just a choice you're gonna have to make for yourself. Thanks for that donation. Come, ask him.
should change.
Vegan donators
God,
does...
that
Go ahead.
Austin Dunham guy is so insecure. His claims and points make no sense. He is an utter and complete imbecile. Such outlandish claims and they don't make any sense. God help him.
I would have to agree. Thanks for the donation, Courtney. Let me take a look. Courtney, sorry. Thanks for the donation, Courtney. Vegan donated $2. Does this look like a good meal?
Goes, cauliflower down, lift your knife away with some, and gives it that really nice sesame oil in. And every time you go into that pan, you want to melt this. You want to melting down that this rich, nice fragrance. The top, open that up, get your chili. Look at that bok choy I serve. I get my
I mean, it's healthy, but it probably doesn't taste very good, and it's just vegetables, so it's not going to be very filling. I'm not impressed. Like, it's healthy, but yeah, I'm just not impressed. Thanks for the... Oh, wait. Apparently, we're Islamophobic.
As a Jew, here are 5 things I love about Islam and Muslim culture. 1. They eat on the floor with their hands. If you ever have a traditional Islamic meal, you won't find utensils. And if you ask me, eating with your hands gives you a better connection to the food. 2. It's always tea time. Drinking a piping hot cup of sugary tea is a huge part of Muslim culture. Every country prepares it slightly differently, and it's always delicious. 3. They're family oriented. I've noticed that most Muslims are very close to their families and often look after them. If you become good friends with a Muslim, they will treat you like one of them. 4. There are so many unique mosques. The designs of mosques vary from country to country, but you'll usually see beautiful colors, intricate tiles.
This guy is so cucked. Like, is he gonna say he likes the child rape too?
Soft rugs, and large domes. 5. Welcome you with open arms. Muslims are the most hospitable people you will meet on this earth. I've been invited into countless homes for...
Yeah, they'll invite you to try to convert you, but then if you try to leave, they'll fucking cut your head off.
Coffee and tea, and they never ask for anything in return. Many people think that Jews and Muslims can't get along, but I am living proof that that is not true.
Yeah, just go to fucking Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. Your fucking opinion on that'll change real quick. By the way, you've seen this. Let me see.
Hello, good human. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Odd Man Out. What are we wearing? We're wearing the good.
Oh, this is old, dude. I've already seen this. Thanks for the donation, though, vegan.
But the fate of Saga's daughter remains unknown. However, during the credits, it's revealed that Alice Wake isn't dead. She faked her suicide to return to the Dark Place. After the first game's events, Alice mentions meeting with an organization, the Federal Bureau of Control, as revealed in Control's AWE expansion. After going to their offices, her memories came flooding back. She remarks that the visions haunting her were Alan still trying to reach out, which could have been his alternative selves, and she can see them because she also went to the Dark Place. Alice is the one who helped Saga in the Dark Place, leading her to the clicker and the Bullet of Light. She then reveals that there are only 2 ways out of the loop: destruction or ascension. Destruction was attempted many times over, but they're getting to the ascension bit by bit. Alice will continue showing Alan the images he needs to see, the light he needs to see, in the meantime. Alan, well, wakes up despite his bullet wound at his desk in the writer's room and says the words, "It's not a loop, it's a spiral." These are the words uttered by Alex Casey in the film Nightless Night by Thomas Zane, but Wake says them with a newfound realization, as if something has been gleaned and...
You are vegan scum. If a person doesn't fit into a vegan's moral outlook on life, then they act annoying as fuck going to restaurants protesting. Vegans are scum, and this proves it.
All over the floor of Fortnum and Mason and Selfridges in London. They've hurled white paint at the gates of the Houses of Parliament. Now they've targeted a high-end steakhouse in London, and the waitresses did what many have wanted to do with these protesters for a while. Take a look.
Hey bitch, I'm not a piece of shit. I like you and I like your content. But please don't drive people like me away for being conflicted and wanting help. Do you actually hate all omnivore humans, or do you just think we are weak and confused? Elaborate Plaza.
I think people who choose to eat meat after you make arguments for why eating meat is wrong are immoral. Simple as that. And I don't think you deserve to live. So if you're knowingly and willingly violating the rights of another being, and especially in such an egregious manner, you don't deserve to live. So that's my basic thoughts on that. Thanks for the donation, Come. Vegan donated $2. Look at this terrorist in the UK. Apparently this is not hate speech according to these cucks.
Having the Muslims as your enemies is not a good idea. We're not, yes, look at me. And history, as it had in the past, with the Persians and the Romans and the Mongols and all of these. History will tell this story again, and you will be defeated under our...
Gay? Yeah. Mohammed Ajab is a terrorist. And he's a piece of crap. Thanks for the donation, Vegan. I'll look at those links in a minute, Dodo. Thanks for the donation.
Thank you for the market. Good night.
Well, joining me now is Animal Rebellion spokesman Nathan Mc...
Okay, well that's great.
Okay. I'm the Democratic Party. I am president. So is the Speaker of the House, and so is the majority leader. We are not defunding the police. We have
Are
not.
there people who, in the Democratic Party, who want to defund the president?
Are there people in the Republican Party who think we're sucking the blood out of kids?
That's actually a very astute observation.
Is Joe Biden a vegan? No, Joe Biden's not a vegan, although my wife is pushing me. Most of the meals I eat, quite frankly, don't have meat. A lot of chicken, a fair amount of fish. I'm big on ice cream, and that puts me in real trouble. You know what I mean? And so after all these years, it's very disappointing to be known for two things, my Ray-Bans and ice cream. It's pretty dull.
That might explain why he has so much cognitive decline.
Okay, does Joe...
Well, hopefully his wife can force him to eat a plant-based diet, but... Not gonna hold my breath.
Things have changed. So, yeah, Alan Wake is still stuck in the dark place. However, the real question is, what the hell just happened? There's a lot to break down. It's theorized that Alan isn't just looping back as evidenced by his alternative selves, but descending. The
Gigliardo donated $2. Quit my job so I could build tiny houses full-time last month. I sold one for $26K. I have $12K invested in the next one, but my parents nagging, tell me to get a job. I'm using their land to build it. Getting my own land would cost a lot. All jobs are shit. I don't know. Well, you have to follow your dreams and follow the pussy, you know? Wherever the money's at and wherever the bitch is at, that's where you gotta go, so... just do what feels right for you, man. As long as you're paying the bills, then you can't be doing anything too wrong. Thanks for the donation, though, Gigliardo. Hope that helps.
spiral parallels Junji Ito's Uzumaki, which is Japanese for spiral, and how it evoked insanity in those who beheld it. However, it also meant other things, like infinity, and managed to distort time and the world, not unlike the Dark Place. Perhaps Wake can follow the spiral and climb back out, but that's not the real problem. Because Wake did leave the Dark Place, and Scratch followed shortly after. Scratch was still alive despite being killed in Alan Wake's American Nightmare. When Alan tries to right return, Scratch suddenly appears to change it. The two are interlinked. Either he finds a way to contain Scratch, continuously run into him in the dark place, repeats the same song and dance, which ends up with him back in the dark place, or Alan ascends. Scratch represents the dark presence, so perhaps by becoming the light presence, Wake can finally move on. How he achieves that is another matter entirely, but Zane's body was taken by the light presence once upon a time, and Nightless Night, which he directed, is referenced, which could be a clue. The other alternative, as suggested by other theories, is that Alan needs someone to assume his place so that he can escape. Of course, it's also worth noting that the sheer amount of meta-commentary where Alan Wake the game represents the creative writing process as a whole, Wake is unable to create the perfect conclusion is akin to having writer's block, while Saga represents a fresh set of eyes, or even a guest author, if you will. The alternate version of Wake also fits in with creative director Sam Lake's statement about how there were tons of different concepts over the years for Alan Wake 2, and he's happy this is the one that they got to make. Almost as if the conclusion is the way forward into the future. At one point, Wake kills an alternative version of himself, thinking it's Scratch out of rage from Alice's death. This alternative version was also trying to undo Return's effects. Perhaps his death embodies a direction Remedy didn't want to go, and is anyway viewed as futile in the end, the destruction path, if you will. If Wake needs someone to assume his place, then it's probably not indicative of having just another body physically present, but someone creative. They could take up his mantle and write a new step forward for Wake and the world, instead of a fix or a conclusion. Then again, Ascension could also mean Wake gets to leave the dark place and live in the afterlife. The end. No more Alan Wake. It's hard to say at this point. There are plenty of unresolved plot threads, like Tim Breaker, who was looking for Warland Door in the dark place, believing him to be the reason for his confinement. Also, Odin and Tor didn't crop up again during the story after trying to save Saga when she went to the dark place. Could they have also ventured inside? It's also unlikely that Zane is dead, and he may pop up again. Night Springs, the first expansion, would be an ideal place for all of these stories. Remedy itself described its multiple self-contained episodes of the TV show where players would control several familiar characters from the world of Alan Wake and experience the unexplainable. How their stories will pan out remains to be seen, but there's also the Federal Bureau of Control and how Alan Wake 2 lays the groundwork for Control 2. The FBC appears semi-regularly throughout the base game, monitoring Cauldron Lake's phenomena and running into Scratch before repelling him. The official description for the lake house, the second paid expansion, says it involves a mysterious facility situated on the
When is the last time you cummed in Jasmine's bum? Where is your favorite place to cum? On the titties, in the ass, in the pussy or in the mouth? Second question. Do you think your depression is related to your lifestyle being at home in front of screens?
No. So I like my lifestyle. I can do whatever the hell I want all day and then, stream. I like that, and usually I'm very active, so I do a lot of exercise. I go outside, I explore. It's just during the winter that I get pretty mind-fucked because the cold makes it very difficult to do the things that I normally enjoy, and I think that's what fucks with my head. But, yeah, I like my lifestyle. I don't think it's contributing to my depression. And I have this really sweet cat that's a nice little blob right here. And he helps me be happy too. I'm not going to answer those other questions though. Thanks for the donation, Courtney.
shores of Cauldron Lake set up by an independent government organization to conduct secret research, until something goes wrong.
I renounce veganism. Don't need to tell others. Do you actually think all carnies don't deserve to live? Yes, as long as they knowingly and willingly support the murder of animals, yes. What about people like Destiny? Yes. You chime into his stream quite often, and if I had to guess, I'd wager you might even consider him a friend, even though he isn't vegan. Yeah, I have non-vegan friends. That doesn't mean I don't think they don't deserve to live. Do you really wish him dead? Yes. Anybody who, what I really wish is they'd go vegan, but, yeah, anybody who is not vegan and knowingly and willingly supports the murder of animals. Yeah, ideally they'd go vegan. The only other option is, like, death. I hope they choke on their next meal. Like, I can't just have sympathy for these people. I have to have sympathy for these animals too. So they're just one person, and they will likely kill thousands of animals over the course of their lifetime. So I don't know why it's unreasonable for me to give sympathy to those thousands of animals and recognize that, you know, they're not worth all that suffering and death. Thanks for the donation, though. I renounce veganism.
This conclusion leads to Saga and Alan's stories colliding once more as they explore the lake house in two separate adventures. Two possible theories are that this organization is the FBC, and it's trying to stop the Dark Presence, viewing it as a massive threat to the world. However, things go wrong.
Bend over, donate $2. Would this be you? Let me see. Hey, Jasmine, I have a crazy idea. What if we got potato chips and cat and watch stuff in bed?
I don't want to drive.
Well, you don't have to drive. 7-Eleven. There's a cat.
Okay.
You like the cat, don't you? Jasmine, admit it, you like him. You're petting him, that means you like him. You're petting the cat, that means you like the cat. You like petting him, don't you?
I like soft.
Yes. Prisma's very soft, and he's also very sweet.
Like your fucking chair, jackass cat.
Yeah, that's his new favorite spot. He always comes up there.
Well, Mr. Krabs, do you want to know what I think? I want to go to bed! Well, Mr.
My pillow thing keeps undoing itself.
I am often like that, yes.
Are you in extreme then, or like?
I don't know. Maybe in an hour?
Yeah, in an hour, I'll probably be way too fucking tired.
Well, then we can't watch a movie or something. Well, if you're gonna, like, fall asleep in an hour, then we can't, like, watch a movie. Why don't you just take some nicotine and stay up?
Nicotine doesn't do anything.
Yes, it does. You just need to let it dissolve in your mouth.
It doesn't do anything.
Try it again. Do drugs with me.
Sure, I get tired from nicotine.
No, you don't. What do you mean? You said it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
How does it make you tired, then?
because I'm already tired.
Okay, have a cherry Coke, then, too.
No, caffeine makes me exhausted. I fall asleep from caffeine.
Can you give me a cherry Coke? Oh, man, the nicotine's hitting hard now.
So we're not spending time?
How about 15 minutes?
Say that.
I want to watch a movie with you and shit. I'll put a timer on, okay? Yeah, James Wade. I would have streamed longer, but I'm super fucking tired from what I had to do today. And, James Wade didn't show up, so I was gonna do the long twerk, but he's not here, so I'm gonna wait for him to get here. Cute Gains donated $2. Think you might like this. Let me see.
Eggs are good for you. Eggs are nice. 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 I love eating meat and I will never stop eating it. The almonds you eat kill many insects. Hypocrite.
Eggs are not good for you. They taste like farts. And no, almonds are not the worst crop for killing insects. And I don't even know why I'd care about insect deaths. Thanks for the nation, though. Fuck veganism. Cat Gains. Let me see these. No. Link me it. Oh my god. Wow. Oh. Little cats.
My water bottle is still downstairs.
Yeah. I guess I could. Oh. Look at them playing. I really wish I could have a vegan leopard. Yeah, if I had a leopard, I'd feed it vegan cat food. I'd trigger so many fucking people.
That would be a lot of vegan cat food.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be like bags and bags of them.
Yeah. That'd be funny, though. Okay, I'll show it in just a second. Wow. Look at that lion. Oh my god. Okay. Whoa.
You're sure it's okay for TOS?
Yeah, I think so. Lions are fucking big. Do you want to show them on stream? Well, why don't you just show it on stream? Imagine walking outside seeing a lion on your roof. I probably wouldn't be afraid. I'd try to pet it, because I'm stupid. Thanks for the donation, though, Cute Gains. Those are some nice cats. So, Jasmine has a shop on Etsy. It's called Mystic Animal Studio, and right now she's selling keychains and Christmas ornaments.
And magnets.
And magnets. So if any of these look good to you, and she also ships to the US.
They're very cute.
Wait, I'll put my screen bigger.
Prisma wants to whack.
Yeah, he does. So yeah, those are the Christmas ornaments
Look at them.
that Jasmine is selling.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah, Jasmine made them all.
These are custom horses for my friend. It's hard because it's like mirrored. I can't.
Yeah, I
tell
know.
what I'm doing.
Prim,
These are her
prim.
horses.
Look
And
at
I'll show you
Prismo.
my other kitties too.
Look at Prim Prim.
I've got a ton of cats. 'Cause
Yeah.
I like the cats. I think I have 11 colors for cats. The light is too bright. It's like... It's a little bit better. Don't know if it's showing.
She has little kitty keychains.
Yeah.
Is that all you wanted to show?
I don't know. I don't want... Like, I just want you to show me my... Just show my shop.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you... Cat.
The eyes.
Check out Vegan's or Jasmine's Etsy shop.
I'm still working on dogs.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure those out. They're kind of hard. Dog.
Yeah, so check out Jasmine's Etsy shop, Mystic Animal
I want to show
Studio.
my cat in the box. I only saw
Oh, yeah.
these as a magnet because they're kind of gigantic. But that's my favorite one so far. Look at the cat. He's in the box. Look at him.
All right, well, there you go.
Buy them all.
Joe donated $2. Watch the street interview in the beginning. Hate progressives, crime deniers. I'll look at that in a moment.
If you don't like this video, I give up. Right pointing triangle, watch this reel.
So my fucking pillow.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, the covers of these pillows are not very sturdy. There's like a million holes in them.
It's 9:15. Set this away. This is going to monitor. Watch. Long press to start. Right. I'll take your steps away, okay? Before the kids get home until 2:30, I'm going to check on you. I at least expect 1,000 steps a day. Do you understand me? Understand me, yeah? Cool. It's been 5 hours.
In the chat?
No,
Can you?
I don't know.
Or is that TOS?
I don't know.
Ito.
that video is lame, dude. Thanks for the nation, Sergeant Taz.
I live in my dead grandpa's house. My mom pays the bills in this house. I make $4-5K a month with $3K in credit debt and only $2,500 till my next check. I drive a car that was given to me in high school. How can I afford a car and apt and live wealthy? I sook. I want to fuck Jasmine's juicy sweet pussy. How many dollars? I will pay whatever amount you state. Any figure, heart.
Okay, how about $100 million? Thanks for the donation, Courtney. Having sex with you. Yeah. No.
Oh, him with me.
Well, it says Courtney, but I think it's a dude donating. Anyway, yeah. They said for any price, so I said $100 million.
Yeah, 100 million will do. I'll take 10 million.
Yeah, finance, broke nigga, get a job in the trades. That's probably the easiest pathway to making good money. Just get a trade job. So, electrician, plumber, elevator repairman, anything like that should make you decent money. Thanks for the donation, though, finance, broke nigga. Appreciate it.
Now the norm in liberal cities, and the voters don't seem to mind. Take the chaos in Seattle. The blue city has surpassed last year's homicide total with 3 months left in the year, and violent crime is up 25%. Jesse sent Johnny to the progressive hellscape where residents mocked the idea that the city is spiraling out of control.
I've never seen any crime in Seattle. I've never seen any of it. I've seen fun and laughter and fun.
I don't believe that number.
People, they're, getting robbed out here, carjacked.
I've never heard of anyone getting robbed.
Crime is a social issue that could be solved by giving people their basic needs.
It's not a thing that happens just on the street. People don't just come up and try to rob people on the street. Do you walk around every day like someone's gonna rob me every second?
Seattle decriminalized drug use, and then they criminalized it again.
Oh my God, who are you getting these facts from? You're from New York. Apparently you're listening to the wrong people.
I saw a lot of people shooting up on my way down here.
Oh, did you? Okay. And they were bothering you?
I was in a car, but, people...
Oh, no, you're in a car. Oh, no, they were hurting you so bad. Oh, no.
Well, this...
Well, maybe they should just make it acceptable to shoot these fucks and then problem solved. Thanks for the donation, though, Sergeant Taz. Like, yeah, obviously, crime in these cities is a fucking problem. Let's see, we got 5 more minutes. And then I gotta go.
Which leads to Alan and Saga being dragged into things again. The other theory is that this isn't the FBC, and that it has other plans for the lake and the dark place. Either way, Saga and Alan are involved, and Jesse Faden, the director of the Bureau, may also appear to clean.
Look at this mother hecking Cato. Look at him. Look at the Cato and his handsomeness. Look VG.
Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. That is a handsome Cato. That's amazing. Well, thank you for that, Oak Goat. That is a great cat.
Up the latest mess. It would help to set up whatever groundwork is necessary for Control 2 and further expand on the Remedyverse. All we need now is quantum.
Sorry, I am late. You still wanna do the long twerk today?
If you don't mind, James, I would prefer to do it tomorrow because I thought you were going to come by earlier. And I had a really fucking long day today, too. I had to get up early. Jasmine and I went and picked up a cardio machine. And then I had to put it together. So we picked up this. I put it together. I used it for a bit. And I shot a whole video, too. right before the stream. So again, if you don't mind, I would prefer to do it tomorrow. Maybe at around 8, like after the kick stream. So, I mean, you call the shots, but I would prefer to do it tomorrow, and I did just upload this. Thanks for the donation, though, James. Appreciate it. He just got here, so. Oh yeah, did you see Jasmine's Etsy shop? James. All right, looks like the video's doing good. Yeah.
Take as many lives as the Second World War took in 6 years, which is about 60 million lives. We're going to go out and ask the public which part of this makes them angry. Let's go. What do you think about this? Have you seen it? Have you seen this around London? Have you seen this before? Have you seen this advertisement around? They think I'm selling something.
Those things are heavy. That is no problem. I will prepay now. Show me the pic.
What do you mean prepay? You already paid for the long twerk. We're gonna do it tomorrow. And this is Jasmine's Etsy shop. So she's making Christmas ornaments and keychains and magnets. So, and she ships to the US. So if you want anything like that, there you are. Yes, they are cute. There's little doggos. Little doggo magnets. Yeah, and it's Mystic Animal Studio on Etsy. Yeah, it's Finn. They can see Finn. Thanks for the donation, James. Appreciate it. Yeah, this cardio machine's great. I'm really glad I went with this rather than a Stairmaster because it's cheaper. Jasmine can use it. And it feels nice, and I think it's a bit more fun. It's... Yeah, Bowflex actually made a good product. I'm surprised how well made it is. And for how cheap it was, too. I got it for $4.50. Make him prepay again? Well, I'm not a hustler, you know what I mean? There's Prim Prim. He wants to be a race car driver. He also sits in boxes. And that's Finn. Finn is a very special boy. My Instagram. There's Prim Prim. There's Prim Prim again. He's really handsome. All the animals are handsome. Stairmaster's better. Depends. Like, the Stairmaster's higher impact. It's definitely harder to use, but that's not necessarily a good thing if you just want to do certain thresholds. And I also do a lot of weight training too, so I don't want something that's too high impact. This is very fucking close to a stair stepper. Like, really, really close. It's a mix between a stair stepper and an elliptical, but it's really close to a stair stepper.
They're putting up billboards around. Does this make you angry reading this? So every 30 minutes we take as many lives as the Second World War took in 6 years, which is 60 million.
It's not good, is it?
It's not good? Is that bad?
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's not good. They said it's bad and it's disgusting. Okay. Maybe they're vegan or not. They should be.
Stay for talking to me.
Yeah, you're vegan. Good man. Does this make you angry? Nah. Why not? Don't care? Heartless person doesn't give a damn? I think it's just funny. Wow. Does this make you angry? Does this make you angry? Read it. Tell me if it makes you angry. Is it sad? Why are they being killed?
To eat.
Should we be eating them if we don't have to?
I don't think that much, or maybe sustainable meat.
Sustainable?
Yes, the animals and
Oh, here is where he talks to the tard.
I like them. Any new Frank vids? Is the new cardio machine helping with your bouts of depression? BTW, I enjoyed the doc with you and Turkey Tom. You two definitely seem to mesh well. What is his real name?
Well, his real name's Tom. Hence, Turkey Tom. But, I was going to end the stream because I'm tired and I just wanted to spend some time with Jasmine before I go to bed. We can watch Frank Defano tomorrow night. I gotta do the Kick or Keep stream, I think for 6 tomorrow. And after that, we can react to some Frank vids and do the long twerk. But the new cardio machine should help with the depression. Like, we just got it today and put it together today. So it should help just having some extra bit of physical activity in the winter. But thanks for the donation, James. Appreciate it. Hopefully I see you tomorrow so you can witness the glorious hour-long twerk. I think we have like another 3 minutes or something. Or no, it ended. All right. That will be it for the stream, unless any of you have anything else to say, or forever hold your peace until next stream. Tomorrow
I will be there at 6 p.m.
Okay, great. I'll see you then, James. Thanks again, dude. Appreciate the donation. So, yeah, I believe the Kick or Keep stream is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, I think. If it's at a different time, we'll just make a community post telling everybody when I'll be streaming. Then after that, we're going to do the long twerk. But thanks again, everybody. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, and bye.